Wolverines Nation, what is up? We got the Wolverines call-in show. This is our 5th episode, going strong. Sorry I couldn't do it last week, but John and Cliff held it down for us. They did a great job. Thank you, John, for doing that. I unexpectedly had to miss the show, but you guys did a great job, man.
We tried to hold it down for you. It was pretty lively in the chat, and we definitely had some good back and forth there.
Absolutely, man. No, you guys crushed it. I mean, honestly, you guys crushed it. It was really enjoyable, like, to watch it from an observation perspective. So good job, Cliff. If you're watching, good job, man. I appreciate your help on that. So guys, we have memberships, and we have some new members. We have Chad Zolman has joined the Connor Espionage team. We've also added, and I'll wait for it to get on the scroll here for a second, a couple more members, and we're really appreciative of everyone who's joined the YouTube community, the YouTube membership. Me and John have been discussing how we're going to organize the monthly meeting, and so currently what we're going to do, John, and correct me if I'm wrong, we're going to put a community post out there, a members only post, and it's going to have a poll on a date and time. Is that the method? Yep. And then our members will vote what is best, and then we will meet on that day. So, and then we'll have a little hang on. We can maybe talk about some things that we can't talk publicly, and we'll get to it, man. The first hangout's going to be it's going to be pretty cool, man. I'm actually looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. We're picking up here on memberships. We really appreciate Chad, you for joining the Connor Stallions Espionage team. But you'll see the link throughout the show. We've got some great moderators here who's posting the link. So if you want to even if you just want to check out what the tiers look like, you want to see what you get with each one, and you're thinking about maybe supporting us, that would be great. If you want to move forward with one, that's also great. Our first hangout, so the hangouts are for the middle tier and up. So the leaders and those who stay will be champions tier and up, $4.99. You get to be part of the hangout.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, definitely. Shout out to Borge Warner. Yeah, man. So I added the Cabrera jersey. I've had this. My walls have been bare. I have more coming. My office is in my basement. So I've gone through 3 floods, and I've been very unmotivated of putting a lot of things back up. But now that we're on the show, I think it's time to start adding some of the memorabilia. I actually have I got a game used Gary Sheffield bat I want to hang up. I got a bunch of stuff. So
damn,
like a lot of people are into shoes, but I'm into memorabilia. But I got to stop doing it because I spent a lot of money on it. And I think the 401k is a little more important, bro. You know what I mean?
If you're gonna be doing that, I gotta get another. Gotta up my background here.
Yeah, dude, I got a Chris Perry autograph. I'm gonna put back there.
Nice.
But he's a player, so that's why I got it. But yeah, so we'll get there. It'll be like the show, the stage or the background is gonna be ever improving. So we're gonna get to it. But this is the call-in show, folks. We are going to open the show with some official visit discussion. This is a big weekend for Michigan, a lot of recruiting. It's going to be a big weekend. We can also touch on, if anyone wants to talk about, last week's, or I guess it wasn't even this week's, earlier in the week's commitments, as well as potentially tomorrow some big news with Kainoa Winston. We could discuss that too, obviously. Open topics, anything Michigan you guys want to discuss, college football, whatever, or the Urban Meyer. That little gem that just dropped. I should probably pull that up.
Yeah. Urban Meyer and third base both had a very interesting article today. Yeah.
We'll pull that up after the recruiting talk. But
for sure.
Yeah, John. So, all right. So this weekend's a big recruiting week. We got some official visits. This is week 3 of official visits for Michigan. We have Jasper Parker, a 3-star running back, who I feel I feel pretty optimistic in the sense I think he's going to commit to Michigan. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be a quick turnaround. I'm not saying like he commits out of the weekend. I'm saying they could secure the deal. I think it's a very mutual relationship. And I have his highlights right here. I'll pull them up for everybody.
Yeah, while you're doing that, I think it's very exciting that we've been hearing a lot about the Tony Alford, not being a great recruiter. We've been hearing that from that team down south, right?
Yeah.
I would love for this guy to get locked in as the first step to even some more after that, right? And really kind of build that cred up,
Yeah, I agree. I think Tony needs to land his first commit. Jasper Parker is a fine running back, very good. I don't put him on the level of Marquise Davis or Shakai Mills-Knight, but I will say, I know that Michigan's looking to add 2 running backs in the class. This is a fantastic first get. Hopefully, you can then land a Shakai Mills-Knight to be a combo between the two for the class. That'd be actually a great running back class. I mean, obviously the kid's quick. He's got a good first step. His vision actually looks very good. He's just not as polished as some of the other running backs. And that's okay. Like, he's not going to play his freshman year, right? This is going to be a kid who likely redshirts and he's going to develop within the program. But you could see the talent. And I think the biggest thing with Jasper Parker is he has speed. And that is what we want in our offense, right? We want running backs. We have our power backs, right? You have your Khalil Mullins, you have your Tavier Dunlaps, you have your Jordan Marshall in a sense, although Jordan Marshall's kind of, he's balanced. He has speed and power. So I feel pretty confident that we're going to land Jasper Parker. And it would be a good addition to the class. This is not, and I will let you guys know if a kid does commit to the class, and if I'm not high on him, I will be honest. I'm not every kid that commits to Michigan, I'm not going to be in love with. I don't want any, because like so far, John, we have like a 6-man class and I like them all.
I would say this guy, in Sharon Moore and Kirk Campbell's offense, you're going to have gadget players, right? I see him as potentially a gadget player down the line. Like, if you saw that one reception, that one catch he made, maybe you could use him in the receiving game, 6 foot tall. Maybe you use him for the reverses, the end arounds, the stuff like AJ Henning used to do, and you use him as a gadget player, whereas some of the other running backs could be the primary backs down the line.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, especially the way we run it, we typically use more than one running back. I mean, I could see that. Moving on. Another big visitor this weekend is Quincy Porter. This is a battle between Michigan and Ohio State right now, and I feel Ohio State's obviously offering a lot. Okay, they're offering NIL. Ohio State is wide receiver U, but Michigan's offering playing time and opportunity, and it's not like Michigan doesn't have any NIL to offer. Okay, they do, but it's just not what Ohio State offers. So Quincy Porter is a big time get. Him and Taz Williams are the two wide receivers for the class that I would say, John, are the 2 alphas. They are the 2 that set the tone. If we can land, and I'll say this right now, if we can land Taz Williams, which, by the way, that looks good, guys. So Taz Williams from Texas. I know Moose is all aware of that one. That looks good. Like we're trending very well right there. Quincy Porter is the one we got to get. I should probably pull his. We might as well, John. Let's just go through one by one. So this way everyone can get familiar with these guys.
Yeah, I think with Quincy, I really need to see Ron Bellamy step up. Okay, Brian Hartline eats his lunch every year, and it's annoying the hell out of me. The reality of it is, you gotta. I know that we're not going to pull in Ohio State and ask him how much, but at the same time, I had to bring that up. But at the same time, like, you need to get some of these impact players. Roman Wilson is gone. You need a Roman Wilson. You need an X position
Right.
impact player. So one of somebody's got to step up. He's 6'3". Great potential in that department.
Right. Yeah. So Quincy Porter is the X receiver we've all been wanting. This is the big body receiver. This is the type of kid who could play as early as his sophomore year. I don't see him playing his freshman year, and it's so hard to do. I won't say it can't happen, but it's just so rare. Samaj Morgan last year was kind of a, we needed bodies. I mean, I guess it's possible Quincy Porter could make an impact his freshman year, but it's just such a rare thing. I don't ever count on it. But yeah, this is the X we're looking for. If we can land Quincy Porter, because we are giving him opportunity, we are giving him playing, we are offering opportunity, we are offering playing time. We do have a competitive NIL package. It is not Ohio State, though. Like, we're not highest bidder, guys. It's just not what we are. But we are doing more than we were. Yeah, I mean, Quincy Porter. So if we can get Taz Williams, we can get Quincy Porter. And then, John, the next wide receiver who's also coming this weekend. And like I said, guys, this is a big weekend for us because we have a lot of top targets. The next wide receiver that I'm going to show you guys, I feel just as good about him as I do Jasper Parker. Okay. And this is Philip Wright. This kid's out of Louisiana. He's a Z-type receiver.
Okay.
And guys, I'm going to let you know something right now. He runs a 100-meter in a 10.4. Okay. And that is faster than Xavier Worthy his junior year. So this kid's a freaking speed demon. Okay. He is faster than Xavier Worthy. He is faster than Xavier Worthy was when he was a junior. Okay, now I'm not saying he will be faster than Xavier Worthy when it's all said and done, because obviously Xavier Worthy just broke the NFL record for the 40. But what I am saying is this kid has speed, he has wheels, he's a burner. So you add him at the Z, you get Taz Williams at the Y, and you got Quincy Porter at the X. That's a hell of a wide receiver class. Like, that's actually that might be our best call.
You're gonna want to hit the mute.
Was the last time we had a haul?
Hit the mute button.
On the Philip Wright. I don't hear it. You hear it?
Yep.
That's interesting. I don't even hear the video. But anyways, so are we good on the sound,
we're good
John? Now. Okay, my bad. I wonder why I didn't hear that. But anyways, so this is Philip Wright out of Louisiana. I feel very optimistic about Philip Wright. I feel very optimistic about Jasper Parker. Those two players, I feel like, are going to be likely Michigan Wolverines. I'm not locking it in because I don't know how this weekend has gone yet. This weekend's going to be everything for that. But I'm just saying, heading into the weekend, these are two names, Philip Wright and Jasper Parker, you need to know. Quincy Porter's a player I feel good about in the sense of I think we can secure that commitment. I think he's trying to shut it in July. But with Ohio State, it's an Ohio State and us battle. With that, I'm not ready to put it at the level of a Jasper Parker or a Philip Wright.
Yeah, I will say this is the type.
That's just the first. Go on.
Yeah, this is the type of player that Ron Bellamy does get, right? He does get. He can beat Georgia Tech, right? He can beat So this guy visited Georgia Tech, and he visited Michigan, or he's about to. That's an example of somebody. Yeah. Ron Bellamy actually is capable of getting. I'll be honest, that doesn't impress me.
Right.
He's a fine recruit, but I'm saying I need to see more from Ron Bellamy. I just do.
You're saying you want Ron Bellamy to land a bigger fish, is what you're saying.
I want him to beat Ohio State for one of these players. Yeah.
For Quincy Porter, that's the one. And then Taz Williams also a good get. If we could pull Taz Williams, those two are so we'll see. I feel good about Taz. I think Quincy. John, are you losing? We got callers calling in, but they keep jumping in and out. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Jesse Allen, and then Sean Garner. All right. We'll get to you guys in a moment. We just want to hit on these guys. So after those three players, right, we got another wide receiver who I think is trending very well to Michigan. And I will be honest, with this wide receiver, I'm not as high on. He was formerly committed to Notre Dame. But let's see, I'm trying to find his highlight tape. He's got a lot of basketball highlight tapes. Are you familiar with Sean Terry?
Yeah, so out of Ohio, right? Another example of somebody who, okay, look, it seems like we're in a battle with Mizzou, as it looks like he visited Mizzou last week. But yeah, definitely want to hear your take on it for sure.
Yeah, so I'm not high on this player. I don't hate him. Like it's not something that it's just I like other wide receivers more. That's where I am with this. I'm trying to play. Here we go. I got it.
I will say it would be kind of nice to take one who is a former Notre Dame commit.
Yeah, so here's the thing on that. Notre Dame cooled on him. That's why he's no longer there. So it's not like we're beating Notre Dame. It's not like we're stealing one from Notre Dame.
No.
So this kid's like a little jitterbug. Okay, I like Philip Wright more. I like Taz Williams. I like Quincy Porter. I actually think because Sean Terry is no longer in Notre Dame's class, I actually feel like we're probably going to get this kid. And I know Ron Bellamy's very high on him, but personally for me, and this is just me giving you guys my opinion, I'm not. Like, I think he's an okay receiver. I just like the guys. I think the other guys have more upside. I think the other guys are just a little more impactful. I mean, obviously this kid has ability. I mean, he's obviously quick and twitchy. But I'm just not as high on him as I am others. And that's why. It's not that I don't think he's a good football player. Again, it's just there are other players I'm higher on. So, and there's only so many receivers you're going to take. So I just don't want to lose out on the other three players I mentioned. So we'll see. It's a big weekend for receiver recruiting. We're going to find out how that goes. And then another extremely big official visit. So this is Porter's official visit. Tom, sorry I didn't mention that. And also, you know what, John, before we move on any further, let's give a shout out to Jesse Allen for becoming a member.
The Connor Stallions espionage member.
Oh, really? Wow. Thank you. We appreciate that. That's the highest tier. You are officially a VIP. You are one of the most important members, and we'll definitely set up a meeting with Connor Stallions, bro. We'll figure it out. I'm sure he's available. He seems to be free from work right now. But yeah, dude. So another extremely big, and I mean that in figuratively and literally, is Andrew Balboa is visiting this weekend. Andrew Balboa, 5-star offensive lineman, currently leaning to Stanford. So academics are very big for him. Are you aware of Andrew Balboa again?
Well, look out, Rocky Balboa, because Andrew Balboa, or Babaloa, Lola, he is somebody I would really like to snag. We don't have a 5-star, and the I guess the vain part of me, despite knowing how our coaching staff can trade up 3 and 4 stars, I like to get it would be nice to get 1 or 2 5-stars. And if you're going to get a 5-star at Michigan, how about an O-lineman, right? Like, if you think about the positions at Michigan that could get a 5-star, this is definitely one of them. He's got some beef, 280 pounds. And from what I've seen so far, he can push the line. So yeah, I like this kid a lot. I hope Michigan can look. I mean, if it's Michigan versus Stanford, look, Michigan's academic program it may not be quite Stanford, but look, it's extremely strong. Getting a degree from Michigan opens a lot of doors. So I would say, yeah, I would. If it's academics, Stanford and Michigan would be the two that I would say would be in the running.
It is. Well, all right, yeah, exactly. And from my understanding, this is a Stanford-Michigan battle. And I think Michigan can make a move here. I really do. Obviously, academics matter, and that's a big deal. He's already went to Missouri. They're a big NIL player. He's not interested. Oklahoma's another team that's on the peripheral. Like, we got to obviously be aware of Oklahoma. But academically speaking, they're not Michigan or Stanford, right? So I think Michigan offers the best of athletic and academics. I don't think that's a debate, especially when it comes to football. I mean, we know Stanford's good at other sports, whatever. But the point is, like, if we can change momentum and get him leaning Michigan, it's freaking. This is huge. Like, this is a major official visit weekend, man. And a lot of things can happen. We have a lot of top targets. A lot of guys we're top 2 in. And if we're not top 2, we're leading. So, it's extremely exciting. Another official visit I'll hit on, I won't show his highlight, is Jordan Blair, a top 100 safety. I would say we're in the top 3. He wants to go to Notre Dame, but there's a problem. Notre Dame has 3 safeties already committed. So there's a numbers problem. And does he want to go to Notre Dame and be number 4? That's the question, right? So, I don't know. I mean, can Michigan convince Jordan Blair that Michigan's the right place for them? Because we're about to get Kainoa Winston. He's likely committing, if not tomorrow, very soon. I think it's tomorrow, though. We'll see if that happens. I'm not promising anything. It's just what I was hearing. And he's going to play the nickelback. Kainoa Winston's going to play nickelback. Then you're going to have Jordan Blair play the safety role, kind of like a Hamilton for Baltimore. So, he's a good player. He's a top 100 player. Can Michigan pull it off? And I'll tell you right now, the results of this weekend are going to be extremely telling on Michigan's approach this June, because I have now heard. So after the first official visit week, John, I told you that the same NIL approach was taken. Even though the week leading up to official visits, we talked about how Michigan's now guaranteeing contracts to high school prospects. Okay, they are. That has been confirmed. I have gotten a second source on that. It's been confirmed. And I have now learned this week that Sean McGee is personally meeting with these players now. And for those who don't know, Sean McGee is the general manager of the football program. And that is going a long way with NIL, if you catch my drift. Okay, so there is more happening. The approach is not the same. This is an evolved approach. So again, we are not highest bidder, but Michigan's not doing nothing. Okay, so that's good to know. So that's where we are with that. Go on.
And I will say real quick that Sharon Moore is not going to say publicly, yeah, we're tossing around contracts and money to players, because we have not gotten to 2025 yet. We have not gotten to the $20 to $22 million NCAA approved money yet. So we're still towing a line. We don't know what the results of NCAA investigation number 2 are yet, or even we don't even have a letter of intent yet. So they still have to toe that line. But I given the first source's validity and credibility, and I'm glad we got a second, because it to me it seemed like given some of who Michigan has defeated so far in recruiting, I know it isn't that many players yet, but Michigan's defeated like some of the top NIL powers. You don't do that across the board 100% of the time unless you're doing something.
Right, Miami, Auburn. We've gotten kids to cancel Georgia visits. This is not how it used to be. And like what's interesting too, John, is we reported what we reported 2 weeks ago. There seems to be a change in not only commitments, but players canceling visits and coming here. Okay, these are just tells, right? So this is interesting. So he's saying Blair canceled his visit to Ohio State. So that's interesting. D-Rock, I wonder, can you put in the comments how you feel? How does Notre Dame feel about Blair? You guys have 3 safeties committed. Let us know. Let us know if you think you're going to land him or not. I'm curious what you guys think. But
and it does look like he's got a visit. I think it would be a great sign if he cancels his visits to Florida State and Penn State. And think about it. Why would you, when after what just happened to Florida State, they were left out of the playoff going undefeated.
yeah,
Absurd and ridiculous because of the conference that they were in. And now there's uncertainty around the conference situation there. And then Penn State, well, where's the recruiting pitch there? Come to Penn State and lose to the top two in the Big Ten every year. So I think Michigan's got a decent shot.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see where it goes. So this is another. All right. So here's another big recruitment. This is why I wanted to hit on this weekend. If you guys notice, like I'm talking about like every single kid, and these are like major. These are very important players to our class, and it's because they are. And the one I'm about to show you right now might be the second most important. I would say Andrew Balboa is the first, probably the number one most important 5-star offensive lineman. This is Shamari Earls, okay, guys, and he's coming up. He is headed to South Carolina. Now he's coming up on an unofficial visit, which means he's paying for all of his expenses, from travel to hotel to food, everything. He's staying for a multiple-day visit. This is a top 100 cornerback. This is going to be the best corner since Will Johnson. If we were able to land him, that's the level cornerback he is. Yeah, he's extremely gifted. He's extremely gifted, extremely tall. You'll see in the highlight tape. The kid's an absolute baller. I want him. Like, this is like those cycle crushes. This is one of my crushes. I'd put him on a Marquise Davis level. But yeah, so he's coming up for an unofficial visit. We'll see what happens. We'll see. Like if apparently it's between us and Georgia, by the way. So even though he's committed to South Carolina, the way things are trending, this is going to be a Michigan-Georgia battle. So here's another one, John. Can we beat Georgia for Shamari Earls? Like, can we? I don't know. I don't have the answer. But I think
YouTube member Chad, member of our Connor Stallions espionage team, Will should show him around. I'm with you there. Will Johnson may be one of the best players. Even Charles Woodson has said the number 2 is now Will Johnson's, and I just wear it. That is, you can't get higher praise than that. Okay. So I think I agree with you, Chad.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. We need this because honestly, cornerback recruiting has been a little underwhelming this cycle. I would say cornerback recruiting, linebacker recruiting, and possibly running back recruiting. We'll see though. We might get Shakai Mills Knight, and it's possible we're in the running for him. Jasper Parker is a fine running back. I don't want to discount that, but those positions have been a little underwhelming for me personally. But the rest, everywhere else, we're doing very well in terms of targets and everything. And then the last player we're going to talk about, who's also coming on an unofficial visit, and we talked about this a week ago, John, and that is Brady Hart. Brady Hart, the quarterback that we talked about. Michigan's next Trevor Lawrence, which we had a video on it. Yeah, so he's going to be coming on an unofficial visit. Yeah, so here's what's crazy though. Give us a pat on the back, because check this out. He just visited Clemson, and people are thinking that Clemson's leading. You know what Clemson sold him, John?
What's that?
That he could be their next Trevor Lawrence. How funny is that? We just had a video. Did they watch our video? Like, did they steal our?
Maybe there's someone. Hey, maybe there's someone at Clemson who's watching this stuff. Yeah.
So yeah, they're pitching exactly what we said, which is that he's got, in my opinion, he has Trevor Lawrence mannerisms. His mechanics are very similar. I don't think he's I don't think he's as elite as Trevor Lawrence. Actually, I know he's not. Trevor Lawrence was a generational type quarterback, but Brady Hart is an extremely good, extremely gifted, talented quarterback. He's coming on an unofficial visit, so we will see. How does Michigan do there? He's one of 3 quarterbacks that we're looking at, like we're really focused on for the 2026 class. I do not typically follow 2026 recruiting unless it is quarterback, and I'll just name the other 2 quarterbacks. Brady Smeagol is another one, 4-star out of California, extremely good quarterback. And then Troy Hun. We'll talk about them throughout the year, but in truth, I'm focused on the 25 class. That's just where I'm at.
Yeah, same. I'm with you with your stance, where you said, if it's quarterback, I'll look at 26 because you're usually just taking one quarterback per class. So the importance of nailing that and getting that right, like we did a Jaden Davis The Decision live stream about year and change ago when that was rolled out. And there was euphoric cheering. Moose remembers because he was calling in when it happened. The importance of getting that player, I think it's definitely worth talking about, future classes on that one.
Absolutely. Sorry, John, that's where we are with recruiting. You ready to take our first caller?
Absolutely.
All right. Sean, what is up, man? You were up.
Hey, guys, what's up?
What's up, man?
Oh, hey, not much. Just crossing enemy lines. I come in peace.
Okay.
All right, we'll see.
So, yeah, since we're on the topic of recruiting, I did talk a little bit about the Quincy Porter decision. Yeah, it does seem like it's a Michigan-Ohio State battle, which is interesting because I'm not seeing many of those this year. Mm-hmm. I'm used to seeing these guys fighting over similar players, and I'm not seeing many players that have both of them on their radar. They're actually
another one is Jordan Davison, the running back out of Mater Dei. Right now we're battling for that. It's between us, you guys, and us, and then there's one more team. I'm trying to think.
That's a big one because
Oregon's the third team in that, so it's us through Oregon. It's a good old Big Ten recruiting battle, man.
Well, of course. What would a Big Ten recruiting battle be without Oregon in the mix?
Yeah, right. Right. Yeah, they're about to be a pain in the ass now, dude.
Oh, definitely. No question, especially, with population shifts and all the players on the West Coast. But,
and Phil Knight.
Yeah, but Jordan Davison, that's a major issue, battle for us. And we did pick up Bo Jackson a week or two ago.
See, you had your running back already.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can't running. You cannot have enough running backs. Some of them suck. Some of them get hurt. Like you gotta build a bulk there. And after this season, Ohio State, that's going to be one of Ohio State's thinnest rooms going into 25. I mean, obviously, assuming Judkins leaves for the NFL after this year.
Right.
So that's it. I mean, outside of him, we've got basically like James Peoples, a true freshman this year, and not a whole lot past. So
But you got, that's the thing about the portal, man. And you guys have shown you're willing to really, really do free agency with the portal. Like Michigan's a little more selective, but you guys are actually willing to aggressively attack it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for sure. I mean, if it is an urgent need, I'm sure they'll find something, some way, somehow to make something happen. But with the Porter discussion, I give you guys the pretty inside track on that. He's a Bergen kid. You guys have much more of a history with the Bergen Catholic program than Ohio State does. He's lower probably on the priority list.
Right.
Ohio State's attacking. You got guys like DeCorian Moore, Jamie French. I think they're being a little bit more aggressive towards than Porter. So I think that he will end up being a Wolverine at some point.
That's music to my ears. And you're right, because so from my understanding, Michigan's making him a priority. He is him and Taz Williams are essentially the primary targets for our wide receiver class, where for you guys, he's fourth on the pecking order or later. I don't even know. You guys might have more than that.
Well, I mean, clearly you've got DeCorian Moore, Jamie French, Burnell Brown. I mean, we're hoping to land all of those guys. I think French and Brown.
And you already have Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
Heartline likes to stack them up. So that I think you might be right there about Sean, about Porter. Michigan might have the edge.
Yeah, and I mean, like Chris, apparently the late Chris Henry's son, he's been a commitment for a couple of years now, since he was in the 8th grade. And I haven't watched any of him. Apparently, he's like a Jeremiah Smith level prospect. I mean, and he's going to be coming in 26. So,
yeah.
So I mean, if you're a receiver and you commit to Ohio State, like you better be ready to fight. I mean, be ready to because
or you'll be a Jamison Williams and go to Alabama.
Yeah, and just
extremely talented, but still, I mean, I know it's the thing. Like you guys, hats off to you guys. You guys are wide receiver. I don't think anyone argues that. I mean, your offensive system and your development is. I don't know if there's not a school doing. I mean, maybe LSU. I'd say you and LSU are probably LSU and Alabama. But now that now it's Kalen DeBoer. Although Kalen DeBoer showed he can do it with Washington. So I'd say Alabama, LSU, and you guys are probably the top of the food chain. You guys could actually you guys could actually debate where we're more like O-line you and running back you right now and defensive line you.
Defensive line for sure. That's been the one hallmark since Harbaugh got there is defensive line play. Probably, it's probably been the most offensive lines at Michigan under Harbaugh weren't always a bright spot, but D line always has been.
Yeah, the offensive line was a little up and down in the beginning, and then once he got Sharon Moore, though, it's been steady incline, man. Plus, they kind of overhauled the running game system. They took the Ravens running power running game, implemented it, which was far more effective for us, and it's worked out. But I want to ask you this. So you saw the recent defensive line commitments we got, huh?
What? Yeah. Marshall and
thoughts, like as a rival, what's your thoughts when you see things like that? You're like, oh, there they go building the trenches, or like you're like, whatever.
I mean, I'm like that. That's a pretty typical Michigan. They're going to get pretty highly rated guys in the trenches, and I mean, they're probably going to develop them and be pretty good players. I mean, it's not a surprise when you see them go, and it's just that's. I mean, I'll be scared if you guys land because really, interestingly enough, who's the last defensive line prospect who was just like an uber star, who was like a JT Tuamoloau coming out of high school, who was that kind of? Was he that level of a prospect coming out of?
Well, he was at like the top 100 level. I mean, I would say Rashawn Gary, obviously, he was the number 1 overall player in the nation.
Rashawn, I would say is.
Let's see, is there another one that's like that? I mean, we tried getting Zach Harrison from you guys, but you guys pulled that one off because you beat us in November.
Yeah.
Which he might not have made the best choice or whatever.
Maybe not. But I mean, my point is that you've produced this consistently, elite defensive line play. Without getting the very, very best guys in the class. Ohio State has mostly out-recruited Michigan on the defensive line. And supposedly, we've got a great defensive line coach, but results haven't. What?
Exactly. Your development's not there. And I see a lot of people in your fan base, I see a lot of fans complaining about that. There's just a lack of development with your defensive line. Even your offensive line's starting to slip. I mean, do you feel the same way about your offensive line?
I think the offensive line gets a bad rap. They weren't great last year. Over the past several years, they've actually been pretty. I mean, the line play has been better than it's given credit for. We've got four offensive tackles. What?
Yeah. I mean, you guys produce a lot of first rounders and elite, but I mean, it just seems like the unit doesn't play to its to an elite level all the time. Sometimes your offensive line doesn't get that push.
No.
Sometimes.
Right. And I think one problem, especially in the running game, has been just sort of the scheme with this. It's, we're running. We like to run out of 11 personnel all the time. We don't get good matchup. We haven't been getting good matchups. We haven't been, creative pre-snap or, with our formations, with our shifts or anything. So we're kind of just running into a wall a lot of the time. We're asking our line, hey, go move this. And
Right.
so there's a lot of blame to go around, but, and last year's unit was, they had to figure a lot of things out along the way. The offensive line hasn't performed to the expectations I would like, but I wouldn't say I say reports of their mediocrity are overstated.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say media. Yeah, I mean, I think I think here's what how like the reality of it. You're just not playing at an elite level. Like you're
Right.
just it's good, but it's not elite. And I'm sure you understand this, Sean. Like,
Yeah.
we're trying to win natties, bro. Like, your team, our team, the top programs, it's about natties. And to win natties, you need elite line play. Look at Georgia, elite line play. Alabama had elite line play. Like, it appears to win a national title right now, you need elite trench play. Like that's kind of, like Washington tried to do it, even though like they won the
Joe
Moore
Moore Award,
Award.
yes.
yeah, the Joe Moore Award.
The cursed Joe Moore Award, yeah.
True. Hey, that's true, huh? Yeah, like they won the Joe Moore Award, but our defensive line ate them up. And then,
Definitely.
Georgia ate up our offensive line that year. Was it 21?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
And then like you guys have this high-powered offense, but it just, I don't know. It appears right now that the trend in college football is you got to have elite trench play to win a title. That's, although LSU kind of, they had elite offense. But that was one of the most historic offenses ever. So
Yeah. Well, like maybe you need that level of skill talent to overcome, nearly above average offensive line play.
If we're keeping
I would also argue Michigan's offensive line last year was not quite an elite unit. I don't think that it was at the level it had been the past couple years.
It was as weird as this is. After the Zach Zinter injury, it became an elite unit because the players were able to play in their natural position. So they moved Carson. So Carson Barnhart was our right tackle.
Yeah.
He's the guard. He's the one who got destroyed by Chop Robinson in the Penn State game. We had to abandon the pass game because of Chop Robinson, because Carson Barnhart just couldn't do it. So what they did is they slid Carson Barnhart inside where Zach Zenner was, and then they put Trente Jones at right tackle. And when they did that, our offensive line became elite. I'd argue our offensive line was the best offensive line in the country last year after the Zach Zenner injury, which is crazy because Zach Zenner was our best offensive lineman. That's how crazy that is. But I was gonna say earlier, like just a little bit ago, like we're gonna be honest, bro. If Marvin Harrison Jr. doesn't get a concussion and you don't miss a field goal, you're probably winning a natty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ifs and buts, right? There's been a lot of ifs for us the past few years. I'm getting a little bit tired of that word. So
yeah, that's fair. Okay, let me ask you this before we let you go, man. What's your thoughts on Ryan Day, and do you think he's on the hot seat?
I am one of the biggest Ryan Day fans. Apologist. There is. I think he's a brilliant, like 200 IQ level football mind. I think he's been slow to make the sort of organizational changes he needs, and he's been too reluctant to cede power in certain spots. I think he has, and I think the last few years he have forced him to reflect and make some changes. And I think the program's in an excellent spot. I just don't think anybody could be with him. He's not on the hot seat, in my opinion. And I think the team's going to be way too good this year for him to for him to lose his job at the end of the season. But
Yeah.
I mean, like if you continue to like just keep falling short of your goals, I mean, this is not the most patient fan base in the world. I mean, there's going to be expectations for him very soon.
So if you lose to Michigan this year, you don't think he should be let go?
I mean, this year is such a different year though than every other year past. I mean, like you lose to if you lose just to Michigan, you can still win a national championship. You can still still win the Big Ten. We could play Michigan again the next week, and
That's true.
I mean, like answering that in a vacuum is hard to say.
All right,
But
say you lose to Michigan and you lose first round of the playoffs.
I think there's going to be a lot of heat on him if that happens.
I think you do not think there's some heat now though?
Oh, there's a lot of heat. Yeah, there definitely is. But there's also the thought process. Ohio State, I'll mention this 25 recruiting class is probably going to be one or two in the country, at the time. And there's going to be some fear, some reluctance. You let go of Ryan Day, you just blow all of that up in that moment. So I mean, like, there's so many factors. There are so many factors to consider that just saying if this one thing happens, what's the outcome going to be? I can't really say.
So I give you the outcome. I said they lose to Michigan and they lose first round of playoffs, right? But like, all right, let me ask you this though, and then we have to move on to our other callers after this.
Yeah, you've been very generous to me. I appreciate it.
No. Well, we appreciate you, man. You came here, good conversation. Don't be a stranger to the show, man. You may be an enemy, but you're good to the show, so we're all good, bro. But all right, so let me ask you this: do you not think if you let Ryan Day go, that you guys would be able to find a coach, no problem? I think so.
It really just all depends every year on who's available. I mean, like you would think so. You would think the automatic answer would be yes.
I think you guys
but like when you guys let Rich Rodriguez go, don't you think Michigan should be able to get a more qualified coach than Brady Hoke?
Yes, like that's different though. So that's a little different because they didn't go for the best candidate. So they did that with Rich Rod and it failed. So what did they do? Oh, we need a Michigan man. So they went with Brady Hoke. That's what it was. And not only that, I don't know if you know much about the Rich Rod saga. There wasn't full backing for Rich Rod. Lloyd Carr's camp was very against it. There was a lot of in-house fighting over Rich Rod. Rich Rod never got the full support of the university. So they went with a Michigan man, and then he got backing, but the results didn't bear fruit.
Right.
So,
awesome, guys. Excellent conversation. I'll let other people talk with you guys. Right, guys, have a great weekend. Take care.
All right, buddy. Have a good one, man. Thanks for calling.
Thanks, Sean.
All right. Hey, good conversation, man. I mean, listen, it doesn't matter if you're an Irish fan. It doesn't matter if you're a Buckeye or if you're a Michigan State fan. Call into the show. We can always have a good dialogue just like that. Always keep it civil. We can get chippy too, though. If you want to get chippy, we can get chippy. We're here for it. But great conversation. Let's give a shout out to Nick for the super chat. He says 2025 will be a top 15 class. Any shot with Meadows. First, I want to hit on your first point. I think it will be a top 15 class. I've been actually making some projections with some of the players we're leading for, and I'm thinking we might land a top 12 class. I'm thinking our potential is a top 12 class. I don't see a top 10 class at this time, but playing with the 247 has a tool where you can do a class calculator. Playing with that, I think we can land a top 12 class. I think there's some players we are trending for that could really push class up very quickly. I think this weekend's going to be a big weekend, and I know next weekend is going to be a big weekend. And you can, I'll call this right now. We're going to get a bunch of commits next weekend. I already know. I know one for sure, and I think I might know two. So, and we'll talk more about that next week. We'll save that for next week. And then your second question, any shot with Meadows? So he's referring to Derek Meadows, the wide receiver out of Bishop Gorman. A friend of the show, Micah Capana, is on Derek Meadows. I don't. Do we have a shot? I think Michigan made a good impression with Derek Meadows. I think Michigan opened Derek Meadows' mind, but I think there's still a hill to climb there, and we'll just have to see if he reciprocates another visit. They need to get him back out here, so we'll see if they can get him back out here. I'd be more optimistic, but I think,
Yeah.
yeah,
Define a shot. If a shot is like 2%, yes, we
I'd
have
put
a
it.
shot. Maybe even 5.
Yeah, that's what I was. I'd put it at 5. Maybe 10. I mean, maybe 10. But
Okay.
yeah, I mean, that's where I think we are right now. But I do know that Michigan did open his mind, and I know Micah did a great job with him. I know I've heard that. So so
Yeah.
that's good. So yeah, thanks for the super chat. We appreciate that. Anyone who wants to throw a super chat, you go straight to the line. If you are a member of the channel, you go straight to the line, and then that's just where we are with it. But all right, we'll pull our next caller up, Jackson Johnson,
Absolutely.
friend and personal friend to the show and team, by the way. Jackson Johnson is going to be joining the Voice of College Football in a certain role and capacity, which down the road will announce publicly. But
Yeah.
Jackson Johnson, what is up, brother?
How's it going, gents? How you doing tonight?
You're a company man now. You got your cup. You're
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
Yep, got the top 25 that actually makes sense cup as well.
There you go.
So I'm making sure I do it right.
Hell yeah.
But before I get started with my point, tell all your friends, your families, your frenemies, and the cashiers at Publix about Wolverines Live every Tuesday night and the Michigan Call-In Show every Thursday night right here on Michigan Football at the Voice College Football. Let's get this channel to 10,000 subs.
Let's get it. Yeah, dude, we are growing. You know, we had that episode, 2 weeks ago to 7,000.
Yeah.
We're already about to hit 7,100. Like, we're like, last I checked, I think we were 7 away. So, yeah,
What are you
channel-
doing? What are you doing to beat Ohio State today? If you haven't clicked, there's 7. What was it? 13% answer that they haven't subscribed to the Voice to our channel yet. If you're one of the 13% that is not subscribed to our channel, what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, and put it to all notifications. And the reason you should do that is you'll get notified not just when we go live, but 30 minutes before. So if you're like me, you run around, you do things, okay? But you want to know when content is coming out, valuable content to learn about the Michigan football program. You got to hit that sub button and hit the bell so you get notified.
Agreed.
Absolutely. And I was doing some quick math skills, and we are about 50 away from being within 1,000 of the Ohio State channel, which we are chasing right now. Ohio State is now the second largest channel in the network. We are third. I don't want that because Michigan is the all-time wins leader. We are going to be all-time subscriber leader in the Voice of College Football Network. I already told Mark that. Like, because Miami's number 1. Can you believe that shit? Miami is number 1 in the network. Like, their fan base is whack, for 1. And for 2, we are the all-time win leader. We're going to get that subscribe. I'm going to tell you, I told Mark, I was like, we're going to become number 1. Like, it may not happen in a couple months, but we're going to get there sooner or later.
Well,
So Jackson, yeah, it is getting there. We're going to get there. I mean, I'm extremely happy with the growth of the channel, direction of the channel. We got a lot coming, in the next few weeks where we should be unveiling some more stuff. And then before the season, we'll have even more. Also, actually, this is a good time to mention this. Me and Ferris just did an interview with a Michigan booster that we're hoping to have it ready next week. Very interesting interview. We talked about all things from her youth up to when she became a Michigan alum, all the way to her thoughts on NIL, her workings with Michigan players like Mike Sanders still. She's an extremely fascinating person. So we should have that interview ready next week. It's currently being edited and things like that. But yeah, very interesting. We are looking to get more, we brought the Micah Capana interview to you guys. We now have a Michigan booster. There's another Michigan booster I'm going to be reaching out to that I have contact with, and we're going to see if we can get them. And there's more to come like that. We're not stopped there. So the channel is going to keep bringing exclusive content like that throughout the year. And obviously we're going to have the Tuesday show. Obviously we have the call-in show. We got the point per minute segment. We had the smash the numbers segment. And then we always have some specials here and there. And we do have the simulations. We've had some complaints on those simulations. We have talked to management about those simulations, and we're trying to get those right for you guys. So we'll figure it out. But stay tuned to the voice of college football, because we're just going to keep getting better.
And it's only getting better, especially when it's getting closer to the Big Ten Media Days and closer to the 2024 season.
Hell yeah, man.
And,
oh my God. I can't wait, bro. Like, dude, like when the season kicks off, like we're all going to be freaking like just like, and that, dude, it's going to be nuts, bro. You know, like you got a new coach, Jackson, with DeBoer. We got Sharon taking the lead. We got Alex Orji going on. We got the Big Ten's expanded. The SEC's expanded. Like this college
well, you
football
know,
season
like how Gus Johnson, like when he was calling the Iowa Maryland women's basketball game, where he said shit blocked instead of shot blocked. I want to see if he'll say something about Alex Orji, something like Alex for the 5-yard orgy or something.
That'd be hilarious. That'd be hilarious. We'll see.
I'll pay money for it personally. Like, I mean, that's something I'll pay money for. Be like, hey Gus, say this for me. It's something for my birthday. You're calling a Michigan game, so you might as well say it. But in all seriousness, though, I was looking at the Lindy's magazine that I just got last week, and I see that Donovan Edwards is on the second all-time All Big Ten team. Should he be in the first All Big Ten team, or is he good?
Who did they have listed first? Who was their first? Do you know?
They got Quinshawn Judkins and Singleton from Penn State.
Yeah. I mean, Judkins had a better year last year in terms of production.
Right.
You know, listen, Donovan has the cover for NCAA. Donovan's a big player. I think it's fair considering production. Blake Corum led the way last year. I think Donovan's going to be in the running for all Big Ten first team this year, though. I think Donovan's going to have a great year. I think when we got the sample of the spring game, like he really does look polished. His vision looked better. His patience looked better. He's bulked up. He looks like he still has burst. So, I mean, again, like I've already said this, I expect 1,000-yard year, probably about 15 touchdowns. So I expect a big year for Donovan Edwards. I think it's going to be like, and I also think there's a little get back because Donovan Edwards allowed Blake Corum to get some touchdowns and some carries. And I think Sharon's going to let Donovan Edwards really showcase himself this year. What about you, John?
Well, and I was what?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. I mean, okay. It really just depends on if you value. What do you value? Do you value big plays? Do you value maybe arguably more consistency against teams like Indiana or teams like Rutgers? Because yes, if you want to measure how well you do against teams like Rutgers, fine, put Singleton in there. But I just think that in the largest stages, I don't know. This is all very subjective, to be honest with you. But I think Donovan Edwards, given his body of work, I would put him ahead of Singleton. Judkins, I have no complaints with that one. He rocked it last year, and he's going to rock it this year, and we know that. Yeah. So fine with that one. Singleton, a little bit more arguable.
Yeah, because I mean, I can see that. Like, because it's like Edwards should definitely be on that first team. Singleton, we'll wait and see what he brings in 2024. I mean, he's all right, but I don't think he's better than Edwards.
Yeah.
But
yeah, how you liking that? How you liking the preview magazines? I think next what is it? Next week? What's his face's comes out. Phil Steele's magazine comes out in a week or two.
Oh, Phil Steele. Yeah, I think it's officially going to come out on July, but I'll just buy it from Barnes and Noble. So I'll probably go there. But one more thing, and then there's plenty more callers because keep it rolling at Michigan football at the Voice of College Football.
That's right.
I don't know if you saw I don't know if you saw the interview of Sam Webb being on the Paul Feinbaum show, which I believe it was yesterday or the day before. What was your takeaways from that?
Well, I don't know if I saw the full interview, but I saw the clip where he was talking about Ryan Day. Is that what you're referring to? Where Ryan Day is a walking excuse, basically. I mean, where's the lie?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Sam Webb, that was all facts. I mean, they're walking excuse. Every year they have weather, or they have, now it's Connor Stallions. Oh, but even though you guys knew the year before and you changed your play calls, right? You were already aware of it. You know, and then we just saw, I mean, did you see the Urban Meyer quote or the Urban Meyer?
Yeah. I saw that on the chat or tonight.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to pull that up right now, John.
Go for it.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, what? So Ohio State's been playing clean? I don't think so. Let's see. I got it right here. Yeah, no, I mean, what do you think, Jackson? I mean, I think it's fairly accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other thing was 5 plays away, or 5 big plays away in 2022. Like, yeah. Well, look, I think that's a little oversimplification. But you know, football can and victories can be defined by one big play. So, you know, that to me was just mind-boggling because Michigan curb stomped Ohio State in Columbus and planted the flag. So it was a little bit more than 5 plays. It was domination for a decent chunk of that game.
Right. Yeah, it's another thing. Oh, it was just a couple plays. No, it wasn't. You were getting your ass kicked all up and down the field. You know, like, just, it is what it is, bro. You literally have been outmatched, obstacled in all 3 games. You had 1 quarter in 12 quarters, which was the 3rd quarter of last year. Outside of that, Michigan has been the far more superior team in terms of physicality. The game plan has been far more advanced. I mean, even the wide receivers at Ohio State were like, we've never seen coverage like that. No, you haven't. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. I mean, Ohio State, like, hey, they don't want to face reality. That's fine. They think they're going to buy them, just like Sam Webb said. They think they're going to buy themselves a victory. We'll, you know, Michigan's going to be good this year. You know, it comes down to our quarterback play.
Oof. Wonderful to see some Michigan-Ohio State debates on the Michigan channel, the Ohio State channel. That'll be some debates I'm paying big money for.
Actually,
we've been talking about it.
Well, as a matter of fact, I had Mark reach out to me today about that. So I will be making some appearances on the Ohio State channel. I'll debate him. I don't give a shit. Yeah. So I'm also going to be
TJ into the Hornets nest.
Yeah, dude. I'm also going to be going to the Texas channel, Oregon channel, USC channel. So whatever. I told Mark, I'm like, I'm down. I don't give a shit. Like, we'll keep it civil, but I mean, if you guys want to debate, we can debate. You know, I'm for it.
Oh man, so a lot of people will go for it. They'll be excited for sure.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, definitely. So any more questions, Jackson?
That's about all. That's all I had on my mind for tonight. And thank you for having me on. And let's get those callers.
Hell yeah, man. Hey, thanks for calling in, Jackson. You're always, you know, you're like family. You're like family to the program now. You are family now because you're going to be joining the team, and we really appreciate you, man.
I appreciate it. It's an honor.
Definitely, man. All right, have a good night, bro. Don't let the mosquitoes bite, all right?
All right, John. Yeah, check out the Jacksonian, which Jackson puts together, and he snags some great guests. So, like, you can, and I'm not saying that just because I was on once, but like he gets some legitimate like media guests. Okay, so like check it out sometime. It's good stuff.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's get the big homie to the stage, the Bull.
The Bull.
Hey,
what's up, bro?
Let's
go.
Smash. Go Blue.
Smash, bro.
What is
good?
Nothing, man. Just got some ice cream with my family, so it was pretty nice. On a nice warm day. It was 90 degrees. So it's warm here. But no, I just had some things.
Hey, that's a cool hat, by the way.
Yeah, dude.
Hat,
this is the very first thing, man, I got, man. The very first thing. I saw that when they were wearing it. I was like, what? I actually went to the official it's probably not a great idea. Went to the actual like CFP playoff website to try to get this thing.
Yeah.
Jesus, that was crazy. This thing took a while to get here, but
Oh,
yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Exactly. And then and like you said, I take that to heart and say, what have you done today to beat Ohio State? And I, on top of that, got a Michigan mug. So every day, I drink my coffee from Champions. So
There you go. And you're a member of the channel, bro.
Right there.
That's
Nathan's going by the ticker right now.
There you
Member
go.
of the those who stay will be champions tier. So we'll be sending out a poll because we're going to be doing our monthly hangout. So we're going to send out a poll on like what time is best for the most people.
I got you.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
be on the lookout for that, man. So what is up, man? What's the question?
Well, I just want to thank Ferris again for the video. Loved it. Loved the analytical breakdown. I'm a numbers guy. I installed Glass, so I'm all about numbers and measurements and stuff. So his analytical, mind analysis, top notch, beautiful. I just wanted to shout that out one more time.
Bro, he
He
took your
does a good
comment to
job.
heart. He's like, dude, he got your comment. He's like, I got to make a longer video. The last video wasn't long enough.
I mean, to be honest, it was only 7 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, 7 minutes, like that's in my earbud. I'm listening to it. I'm like, I don't see these graphs, but I'm trying to hear it. And I'm like, I need more number. I don't know the numbers. Like, you're just telling me who's going to win and stuff. I'm like, why? So, and then when he broke it down, beautiful. I was like, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. This is why. This is what we're pairing up with what. So, makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no.
But yeah, no. Yeah, I saw. Well, a couple things. One, I still don't like the whole. I guess he started it. The whole Sam Webb, Jordan Davidson thing. It's very unnerving. Which I check Twitter daily now because for U of M recruiting anything, and he took a visit.
Can we give a little context for those who might not know what that means?
Oh, so what about the scenario?
Yeah.
Okay, so what happened is, Jordan Davidson, to some context, he took a visit to Alabama 2 weeks ago. Okay, posted stuff probably Tuesday, Wednesday after his visit. Okay, now after the visit, Jordan Davidson was the top 5, 6 running back in the country, whatever you want to call it, possibly 5-star. He then takes a visit last weekend, official visit, to Michigan. Now, nothing really happened. Of course, Ohio State's involved, so Twitter's going crazy. So, some stuff leaks out from whoever. It's a leak, quote unquote. We don't know. During the visit, he left early for whatever reason on his official visit over the weekend. Okay, so that's sort of there. So, but they said information was leaked. We don't know if it's true or false. No one really knows why he left early, if it was. And then on top of that, we never got information to how it went. Then I'm just trying to lay out everything. And then, of course, then so after the Ohio State's trolling us like, oh, he left early. Yeah, great. Right. Then all of a sudden, Sam Webb says, hey, we knocked it out of the park.
Right.
Now, he didn't really say who, when, where, what. Everyone dove into it. One guy, I'm not going to say because he posts a lot of breaking news stuff. He put it out there, and of course, Davidson picks up and is like, dude, what are these kids? What are these people talking about? What's Sam Webb talking about, if you really think about it? Knocked out of the park from who? They said they got the quote from his mentor that he's very close with and everything. And but I'm just going to say it's now Thursday and nothing. He hasn't posted anything about Michigan at all. So my thing is, someone's lying. It's very messy. It doesn't look good. Nonetheless, he hasn't posted nothing. I think he deleted his stuff about the emoji and the what are these people talking about. So it's like, it's just it puts a bad taste in my mouth, and I think in Michigan's mouth when Sam Webb is right about some things, wrong about some things. Right. It just rubbed me the wrong way that he just totally rubbed the recruit the wrong way. I feel like, to be like, where did you get this from? Like, who is this even correct or not? Someone said that he talked to him personally. Said, no, my mentor did not say that. I don't even know where they're getting it from. So,
Right. Yeah. So all right. So apparently the report that he left early was a false account. It was an Ohio State fan or an Ohio State troll that
Okay.
and here's how that was confirmed. So EJ Holland reported that it was a troll account taking a quote from EJ Holland. So EJ Holland has confirmed that that was fake. He did not leave early. Actually, and Sam Webb confirmed that Jordan Davison actually was the last one to leave on the weekend. Okay, so that's where we are there. Now, you may know what I'm going to say. Word is the visit went well. Like the word is Michigan has entered the race with Oregon and Ohio State. Now, I don't know any more than that, right? Like I know what you know. Like we haven't heard anything the rest of the week. We don't really know, but I will say there does appear to be like some optimism from Michigan's side, to the point where they think they made a big move, like a good move. You know, they think they're in the race right now. So
Okay.
we're gonna. I'll tell you this, Bull. I think it was a bull. I think what was bullshit was he didn't leave early because he didn't. It's been confirmed that he did not leave early. EJ did confirm that, and so did Sam Webb. And for anyone who's not following the site wars, they don't like each other. It's like these. So the fact that both of them are saying the fact that both of them say that that's a bullshit report that he left early, then that confirms that that he didn't leave early. Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna have to see, man. I hope we get Jordan Davison. Like for me, I need a Jordan Davison or a Chicago Mills Knight in our running back class because Jasper Parker, although is a fine running back, I need another one. You know, I need kind of like last year we had Jordan Marshall and Micah Kapama. I need two dogs. You know what I mean? Because running back is a very important position for Michigan. So, we'll just have to see how it shakes out, man.
Yeah, I was. I'm not gonna say it's sad, but I'm checking his Twitter today, like a couple times. I'm like, hey man, did you or did you not take the official visit to Michigan? I know there's photos somewhere, right? So I was like, where are they at? Where are they at, bro? Like what? Like did you not have a good time or something? Like what's up? My biggest thing was just with the whole Sam Webb thing. That's what he got a quote from his mentor. Someone said, well, I talked to him, DM'd him personally, Davidson, and he's like, no, that's not true. So I don't know if it's true or not true of if the mentors did or didn't say that. I was just looking for photos of the visit, nonetheless, and I was like, I don't see nothing, so I'm like, well, that's not a good sign to me, but we'll see. But like you said, if internally they're like, hey, we think we made a good impression, it sucks they're not posting nothing photo-wise, but, I think we made a shot.
Yeah, I think they got so I think what happened is they got some quotes from his mentor / trainer. So I think that's where they got it from. I'll have to maybe look a little deeper on it, Bull. But we'll just have to see. We'll see. I'm sure. I wonder. I think he still visits Ohio. He visits Ohio State and Oregon next. So we'll find out in the next couple weeks if Michigan made a move or not. We'll find out. Obviously the results or the way things are trending will determine the reality of that recruitment.
Yeah, and then I guess second thing would be the recruitment. I guess overall, like you answered my question on Tuesday about how many kids we think about taking. I saw the average that we got. I'm like 25, 26, which I didn't really check before. I did before, but I didn't really refresh my memory on that. I checked it. And that seems about right, but I also don't know statistically where we usually are this time of year. I know it's different, but like this time of year, previous years as to how many commitments we've gotten, right? Like how many, because December 4th, obviously that's the early signing period, right? Like to me, I'm like 25, 26 people. Like when are they coming in? Because usually I would think you want to be sort of getting halfway there or close to it by this time, right? Because
I hear. So you're saying because we have 6 commitments right now, it's kind of like where we. So I'll say this. So I was looking at the recruiting rankings, and I think Miami only has like 8, man. Let's see.
That is true. It honestly, some other teams are pretty slow. We are I don't know if it's accurate. On three has us at 17th, but yes, there are very low numbers you could say for commitments. I guess you could say, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it's
Michigan,
very surprising.
yeah, Michigan's got to make some moves here. Like, and I expect this weekend to bear. I said I think Jasper Parker is going to be committing to Michigan. I haven't locked that in for anyone who just started watching. I feel very optimistic Jasper Parker will be in the class, and that's not a secret. That's actually like there's a lot of people in the recruiting, I guess area or like in the industry that believes Jasper Parker is heavy lean to Michigan. I think Sean Terry's very likely to be in. Ron Bellamy loves Sean Terry. I'm not high on Sean Terry. And then I think Philip Wright out of Louisiana. I feel very good about Philip Wright. I think he's going to be in the class. So that's 2, possibly 3 from this weekend. And if we can swing Andrew Boa and possibly Shamani Earls, which I'll tell you right now, if we swing Shamani Earls, I'm gonna do a break. I'm gonna come on here and do a live stream because that's huge. And then and then Quincy Porter, man, if we can make a move for Quincy Porter, and we had an Ohio State fan call in saying he thinks we're gonna get him. So
we should. I mean, we should. I mean, because it's almost laughable because I do, Ohio State Twitter. It's rough out there, but the back and forth, man. It's just like it's funny to me. It's like two castles just throwing stones at each other. They just keep going back and like almost like tennis. Like it keeps going back and forth. Shots fired, shots fired. But yeah, like they have so many wide receivers, and it's hilarious to me. It's like, okay, you have these big wide receiver rooms. Congrats and so I see people complaining like, oh, why can't we get these top offensive tackles, or why can't we get some of these top D line? It's like, well, that's what you signed up for,
Right. Yeah, I mean, listen, they have their strengths, we have our strengths, and like we have trouble with wide receivers. Like we have a lot of trouble getting X type receivers, like anything over 6'2". So, they're having their troubles with offensive line recruiting, and defensive line. They do get elite players, they're just not developing them. But whatever, it is. We'll see. I think Michigan's going to land just, because circling back to your question, because we're currently at 6, I think Michigan's going to land anywhere from 5 to 8 commitments in the next couple, out of these weekends. I guess, some of these kids are going to set commitment dates in July. So I'm not going to say in the next 2 weeks, but I think you're going to see a lot of momentum from tomorrow. I think tomorrow we might be getting some good news forward.
I got you. So it looks like probably end of July, if you're looking at end of July, to get like a decent number ahead, like maybe into the teens, maybe.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think before August we'll be in the teens for sure. Like by August at least. A lot of kids want to commit before their senior season so they can focus on ball.
Gotcha.
But I'm not worried about the way things are trending and the players we're in on. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not as concerned as I was 2 weeks ago. Like 2 weeks ago, I was a lot more concerned. Especially, and then also with like Nate Marshall, it doesn't even appear. It's looking extremely. Auburn was just he visited, but he reconfirmed, and we'll give a shout out to 247 here. He reconfirmed that he's solid to Michigan, and Jalen Williams is his boy. Jalen Williams just committed on Monday or Tuesday, so we're good there.
Yeah, and 2 points I want to make. One, which was it? The whole. I'll stick to my first point if I can remember my second one. First one is, I think this year is gonna be like this year. I feel like I felt good about last year, not just for a lot of people coming back, but I felt like the depth, how we played the games, a lot of rest, right? A lot of fourth quarter rest last season helped considerably. I felt like come going into Ohio State playoff, Penn State and stuff. And I felt like that helped huge. It was a huge asset to have. Obviously, statistically, some of the players didn't get the, the attention that they and the accolades maybe that they deserved. Maybe that's why the Joe Moore Award, didn't go to us because, we rested some players. It's, and Heisman and JJ and everything. So they suffer because of it, but we got the prize, right? So that's all that matters.
Yeah,
So
we got the natty.
Exactly. So this year, I'm really looking forward to, hopefully, that some depth that maybe we don't know about is going to show, right? Last year, Mason Grant on the scene, right? All the guys coming back to this year showed out, right, on top of the McGregor we had and Good and everything. So yeah, I think I'm looking forward to see who's going to step up, right, as a sophomore, as a junior,
Right.
Mainly a sophomore, to see who's going to step up, take on that good depth role, because yeah, we're going to need some rest if we can. It's not going to looking like it this year, but because this year looks real rough. It's looking crazy, but you would hope that we can get some rest in these fourth quarters with some good depth,
I mean, there'll be games where
Absolutely.
there'll be some games where we, where guys will come in the fourth quarter. I mean, we obviously have some tough games, but especially like the two non-con games. We got Arkansas State and UNLV or what's our first game? I know
Fresno State.
Fresno State, yeah, it's another Reds. We played UNLV last year, but yeah, I mean, listen, there will be games where we are able to pull our starters in the fourth, but yeah, we do have a lot of tough games this year. I think TJ Guy is a name you should pay attention to this year. I think Zeke Berry is going to sit this year. John's big on Fred Moore. I think Fred Moore is talented. We'll see what's up there. And I think it's going to be a big year for Jair Hill. And Rayshon Benny, man, he has the third defensive tackle role. I think
that's crazy. No one knows this, but I used to. I don't anymore. I coached him at Southfield High School in shot put and discus.
Wow.
Now, sadly, their throwing program, they try, and I was there to try to bring it up a notch, right? Try to be a little more serious, competitive. But how that school works is like, bro, you kids play football, and that's really it. But you know what? I'll throw you a bone or something. And I'm looking at this kid, and I'm just like, damn, like he was big and thick and beefy, and I was like, dang, and took that shot put, which is decently heavy, and just without a lot of effort, just chucks that thing, and I'm like, oh, what? Just, it's crazy to me. I've only seen that twice. Mike Martin, who went to Michigan, I threw with him. Ironically, when I was a running back, came out of D tackle, weird, and him, just these massively huge human beings that I'm just like, wow.
You see those videos of Luke Hamilton?
No, I'm not.
Oh, dude, you got to check out Luke. He's like all state for that type of shit, bro. But all right, Bo, we got I was gonna say we got a bunch of callers, man. So we're gonna keep it moving. But thanks for calling in, bro. We appreciate it. Thanks for being a member, dude. And it's always Go Blue, bro. Honestly, man, thank you for supporting the channel, dude. For real, we appreciate you, dude.
Hey, no problem, man. You guys are the best that's out there in the business. Appreciate you. Like I said, I watch a lot of all the, get what I can of Michigan every day from whatever YouTube channel I can. You guys put out some top-notch talent.
Hey, we appreciate that. Honestly,
means a lot.
We're gonna keep that same standard, bro. No bullshit. Hey, and if you ever think we're on some bullshit, bro, don't be afraid to call us out. All right?
No problem. I got you. My thing is, if you guys could put out something every day, Monday through Friday, whatever it is, then that'd be best, right? At least gets people engaged every day. Be like, oh, boys college football, what's out today?
Smash the numbers, point a minute. Recruiting. We'll have some more TJ recruiting stuff. Lots of stuff.
I got some. So I'm gonna start doing some recruiting videos. We'll get there. We just got some other things on the plate right now, but there's gonna be more, bro. Don't worry, we'll get there.
Okay. Appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it.
Right.
Go Blue.
Peace.
Go Blue.
All right, John. Looks like we got an enemy on the line, bro.
Uh-oh.
We got an Ohio State fan here, bro.
Uh-oh.
What's good? Muted, my guy.
Yo, they called.
Hey, King.
What's going on, y'all?
Shit, man. Just chilling, bro. What's good with you?
Trying to get some damn work done so I ain't got to do shit tomorrow when I get in. But
oh yeah.
That's big. That's big brain thinking. That's Ryan. Third base Ryan Day could use some more of your thinking, and I think they'd be in a better place.
I'm gonna let that slide tonight. But you know what? I ain't gonna address nothing that the scammer has to say because I don't have, you know, I think very, very low of that person. And it's crazy that y'all pay and that dude,
You talking about Sam Webb?
yeah, the scammer. Y'all know the
Okay.
scammer. The scammer. You know,
Mhm.
we're still waiting on the Rico. You know, we're still waiting to get hit with the Rico.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. And
That's fine.
the Ryan Day's brother do it. He hacked in.
I mean, hey, that's what they're saying, bro. They're saying the PI firm, bro.
Hey,
That's what they're saying.
They hacked in.
that'd be
Hey,
something.
Is that what happened?
shit.
But
I'll say this though. I'll tell you this. I think Ohio State is the one who turned all that shit into NCAA though.
yeah, that should be easy to expose. I would like if Ohio State did that, you know what I mean? Where is it at? Like that's what is that, confidential?
What we do know is NCAA did receive so the NCAA didn't find this. The information was given to them
Yeah, of
by a
course.
PI firm, right?
Yeah, of course.
So I'll be real with you. I do think Ohio State had something to do with it. I don't know if it's freaking Ryan Day's brother,
Yeah.
but I think Ryan Day, because Ohio State was aware of like we know this. They were aware of it the year prior of the signs, right?
Yep.
So I do think Ohio State had something to do with it. Now I don't know the exact I can't say it's his brother. I don't freaking know. I don't have any of that information. I can't confirm shit.
Yeah.
But I will say somebody turned in Michigan,
Mm-hmm.
and if there's anyone who has motion, it's Ryan Day, and they were aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
And you are aware of the analyst from Illinois, right?
Mm-hmm.
With what was it, Rutgers, Illinois, and Ohio State keeping
Right.
Yeah.
Nick Selsey.
See the thing about that whole situation, and the reason why like me and a lot of Buckeye fans are beefing is because I made it very, 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 clear that I don't give a damn.
Yeah, I hear you.
I don't care
I hear you.
because
Me either.
there's no I would not give a flying shit if Connor Stallions had hacked into the goddamn headset and then hacked the fucking nuclear launch code. I don't care. I don't care.
I hear you. I hear
The
you.
fact of the matter is, and this is where you know being truthful and being real and honest needs to be, that needs to display itself a little bit more than what it is. Because the fact of the matter is, regardless of how you may feel or what you may think, we are here. Buckeye Nation, I know y'all in the comments. They're talking the way that they are because Ryan Day put you in this fucking situation. He did it. Ryan Day is being criticized the way that he is.
Right.
Because of him.
Right. I agree, man.
He wanted, it's all been decisions. Ryan Day came in here and he wanted to do shit differently. This isn't the Big 12, my dog.
Right.
This ain't that conference. We ain't the pack. We ain't the damn pack. Whatever the hell they are now. That's not us.
Yeah.
That's not us. You came in here and you wanted to reinvent the wheel. Well, now look at what you got. You don't like them talking this shit to you now, do you?
Right.
You don't like a scammer being able to call you out on national TV. You don't like that, do you? So if you don't like it, and this is where, Ohio State fans don't really, a lot of them still mad at me. If you don't like it, do something about it.
Right. That's what we're saying, bro. Like,
Do
hey,
something about it.
if you guys don't like the narrative, just fucking win in November.
And it goes far beyond that. this whole shit. I'm about to go viral.
Hey, go.
Let's go.
Hey, cook, bro. Cook, bro. Go get it. We, man.
You know, the one thing is because when you at Ohio State, you always gonna be able to get top kids.
Right.
The hell, me, you, we can coach Ohio State and get top kids to come here.
Mm-hmm.
That's easy. That doesn't mean anything, right? But when you try to take something, when you try to, just like the old saying goes, right? If it ain't broke, don't try to fix the shit, right? The question that I have, and if I ever got the opportunity to talk to Ryan Day, I would just ask him why. What was your reason for changing the philosophy that worked for so long? What was your reason behind changing it to what the fuck it is or what it has been these previous 3 seasons? What is your reason? Why did you do it?
You know what I think he'd say, man? I think he'd say because we got to beat the SEC.
Yep.
That's why you got the
win
offense.
playoff games. Win playoff games. Absolutely.
Because you guys had the Big Ten, and he thought you guys had. Like, I'll be real. He probably, he got a little, a little prideful and thought Big Ten was his. I mean, you guys were owning us for a minute, and then he lost his, he took his eyes off the prize, which was obviously win the Big Ten and then get there. Instead, he was like, well, we got that shit. Now let's win a natty.
Yeah, but see, the problem that I have with that is that you would have a point if the defense was at that particular time
fair,
better than what it was.
Right, you're right.
You know what I mean? Because in that Georgia game a couple of years ago, and even in 21, when Jim Knowles had first got here, see, Jim Knowles really good, really that by far is one of the best hires that Ryan Day has ever made. He gets credit for that. The problem that he had is that the philosophy was right, but he did not have the players to pull it off. See, when Ohio State and Michigan played in, what was that, 22 in Columbus? He had the right mindset. He didn't have the right players to do it. When you look at that secondary, if you're going to play zero coverage,
right,
you need NFL guys back there. That's what you need. And it's funny because who the hell was in that? Cam Brown, where the hell is he today? Cam Martinez, where the hell is he today? I mean, dude, Cam Martinez cannot show his face in Ohio ever again. Tanner McAllister, where is he now? Ronnie Hickman.
Walk-ons, dude. Walk-ons.
Come on now.
Walk-ons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
UFL.
Come on now. So the philosophy was right. He did not have the players to do it. Now this year, this secondary, you got them.
Caleb Downs.
Mm-hmm.
You got the dudes.
Yep.
You got them. If you gonna play zero, especially in college football, you gotta have NFL players back there. So yeah, I can understand Ryan Day switching up the way that this program was going to try to, stand up to the SEC teams a little bit better, you know what I mean, than what Ohio State has in the past. And that's understandable. That's respectable. But you need some semblance of a goddamn defense. You have to have something. And what Ohio State had, especially in 21, where, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the hell that was in 21. Now, that was the year when Ohio State could not hold water up front.
Right.
That was the year. You don't get no pushback on me with none of that. In 22, you did not have the talent to pull off the proper game plan. It was right. You didn't have the guys to do it. So that made it wrong. If that makes sense.
Well, one thing I'll say about 22 is that Jim Knowles prepared a great game plan to stop Michigan 2021.
Yep.
Ohio State put together a great game plan. If checked down Cade McNamara, who is a statue in the pocket, was the quarterback of the team,
That's
you guys
how-
would have won that game.
That's how they got him. That's how they got him last year too. I mean, damn. I mean, the matchup with the tight ends on the linebackers. I mean, if that was a prize fight, they would have called it off. I mean, damn. Ohio State's linebackers could not cover them to save their fucking life. I mean, I've never seen a bigger mismatch on a football field a day in my life. That was more so lopsided than what we saw at 21 on the ground. They couldn't even stay near those tight ends. I've never seen nothing like that. And when you look at that game, that was another good game plan. Another good game plan. What did JJ throw for? 130? One something like that? 154, something like that. But when it was third, it was death by 1,000 cuts. Let me get this 3 yards here. Let me get this 4 yards here. I'll take this 2. Give me that 7. Third down comes. Okay, I can scramble out of pressure and I can find a tight end falling out of bounds. That's how they got you. It was death by 1,000 cuts. And when they went on, and when in the fourth quarter, when Michigan went on that, what was that, a 9-minute drive in the fourth quarter?
Yeah.
Another cut. Give me that 3 yards. Give me that 4 yards. Give me that 4th and 1.
We did the same thing to Alabama. Same thing to Alabama.
Give me that 6. And see, the thing about it is that defensively, Ohio State is going to be fine. But the biggest mistake Ryan Day made, and I hate to fucking say this, is when he picked Kyle McCord over
and Quinn Ewers, because Quinn Ewers got out there too. So can you imagine, King?
Son.
Can you imagine, King, Ohio State with Quinn Ewers?
Shit. I mean, do facts.
You guys win a natty this year with Quinn Ewers.
Bro,
or last year, maybe.
All right. Well, let me ask you this then. All right. So now Kyle McCord's gone. Do you feel better about your quarterback situation now?
Absolutely.
You do. I don't know. I think Kyle McCord might be better.
Ooh.
No?
Who do you think? Okay, let's talk about it. Who is the best quarterback in the Big Ten this year? Who?
Wait, you're going to say Will Howard?
I'm not going to say him. Who do y'all think is the best quarterback in the Big Ten?
Shit.
Gabriel?
Gabriel.
Yeah.
Where did he come from?
Fuck, where did Gabriel come from?
Oklahoma.
He's been going around.
He came from Oklahoma, right?
Okay.
Why isn't he at Oklahoma?
I don't know. Why isn't he at Oklahoma?
They ran him off? I don't know.
The very same reason why Will Howard isn't at Kansas State. The very same reason. They told him to go because if he would have stayed, Jackson Arnold would have left. If Will Howard would have stayed that last year at Kansas State, Avery Johnson would have left. And I would rather roll the dice with a kid that has 3 more years than a guy that only has 1. Every program does that. And then the thing about Will Howard is that, do y'all remember when that portal window opened? There was 3 quarterbacks that within the first couple of days of the portal being open instantly came off the board. Who were they? It was only 3. Leonard, who went to Notre Dame.
Right.
Dylan Gabriel, who went to Oregon. And Will Howard, who got picked up by who?
You guys.
Yeah. No, he wasn't coming here. Will Howard wasn't coming here. He was going to USC. He was going to USC.
Okay.
He was committed to USC. But then, but
remember, into the Dante Moore
transfer.
Yeah, because remember, the portal opens before bowl season. And then that's when Miller Moss went out there and threw 10 damn touchdowns. So instead of paying Will Howard $2 million to come, it was only those 3.
Yeah,
it was-
USC. I forgot about that.
He was committed. He was going to play for Lincoln Riley.
I didn't even remember that, to be honest with you.
And Miami
yeah.
did not want.
I feel like I knew it
Miami
for
did not
back
want-
then, but
Miami did not want Cam Ward. Nobody wanted Cam Ward because nobody wanted to give him the $2 million.
Right, I remember
Because that was why Ohio State was not interested in him. Miami's number one target was Will Howard. It's all over. It was them. They were after him. Washington was after him. North Carolina. Mississippi State. Who the hell else was after Will Howard? I already said USC. He was committed there. But yeah, Will Howard had options. He had options. So when I say that I am comfortable with Will Howard, the reason why I'm comfortable, it goes beyond that. Because all we need him to be is Stetson Bennett.
Yeah, all right. So you're not worried about his completion percentage though?
It's
Because wasn't
like
Stetson
8
Bennett
points.
70? What was Stetson Bennett?
Okay. If I am going to ding a guy for being at Kansas State, who his best weapon was a fullback / tight end, then I have problems. I have problems. I have massive problems because if we want to go the stats route, Kyle McCord had a higher QBR than Quinn Ewers and Carson Beck. I wonder how accurate that is.
Bro, Bobby, I don't think Kyle McCord was your guys' issue though. I think Kyle McCord. No, I mean I know he was inconsistent, which pissed you guys off. But I'll tell you this right now. I'll tell you this right now, King. I would take Kyle McCord. I would take Kyle McCord because our quarterback situation is so uncertain. We got Alex Orji and David Warren.
No. Please tell him no. Please say hell no. He's crazy.
Fuck that.
Yeah,
I would take Kyle McCord.
I
Why
don't know.
wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you take
I don't
Kyle
know.
McCord?
I don't.
Bro.
He doesn't have that dog in him. I'm sorry.
Bro,
At the biggest stages.
Bro, bullshit. You know who doesn't have the
when
dog is the
Kyle
coach.
McCord threw that pick to Will Johnson in the
Right.
post game, he said he didn't see him.
So, but I will say this. I think Syracuse is his speed.
Yes,
Syracuse
yes, that's a perfect fit.
Is
That's
if you
a
watch
perfect
the
fit.
film of him at Syracuse, he's
Yes.
confident, he's comfortable, he
Yes.
is slinging it. He's going to go for a bazillion yards at Syracuse.
Yes. I agree with that. But we are talking about Kyle McCord
The chat agrees with me,
versus
bro.
Will Howard. Will Howard, who had Lincoln Riley ready to offer him $2 million. Kyle McCord, whose best offer was Nebraska. I think college football has spoken.
I think if JJ made a decision and the Harbaugh thing was settled, I think it's possible Michigan went after Kyle McCord. But the problem was we were in uncertainty, so we couldn't add any.
I think y'all
quarterback
would have
in
went
there.
after Dante Moore.
We
That was the
tried.
guy.
We tried going
yeah.
after Dante Moore, but the problem with Dante Moore is we didn't know what JJ was going to do at the time, nor did we know what Harbaugh was going to do. Because as you know, the portal's at a terrible time.
Yeah, it
Coaches
is.
don't make-
They need to move that.
They do.
That's a horrible time. They really do. They have to wait until after the draft declare season ends.
Yeah,
and then,
the problem
and
is
then open that up.
I agree with you, but the problem is the semester starts in January, so you want to get the kids in, like it's fucked up. It's like
Yeah.
I gotta figure it out.
That does in fact have to be different. But yeah, Dante Moore should have been the guy, and you know, because like at Ohio State, we were put in a very, very, very bad situation with the Julian Sand thing. That was not initiated by Ryan Day. That was initiated by Julian Sand and his parents, who wanted him to come to Ohio State. And you can't say no. You just can't say no. You know,
What's your thoughts on the Aaron Nolan because of Julian?
it sucks, but I mean, come on, we know how this is gonna end.
All right,
I mean,
all right. Yeah,
it does,
Okay.
and that's why from the very, very beginning, because Obviously, we were going to go after a portal quarterback, regardless of who, you know what I mean, regardless if Kyle McCord would have stayed,
Right.
you know what I mean. We
Right.
would have went after a portal guy. Period.
They told Kyle that, and Kyle didn't like that.
Yeah, and
Right.
and it's like, but it's like, you know, watching the film breakdowns of him, and I know people have, their personal beefs of Zach Smith, but he does a really good job with the film breakdowns. That shit was embarrassing, man. Come on, man. No. No. It wasn't that. It was all year long. I've never seen Ryan Day. Ryan Day never went after Justin Fields the way that he went after Kyle McCord. He never went after CJ the way that he went after Kyle McCord. Kyle McCord was just flat out not not even looking at guys. Did y'all see the film breakdown that was done against you guys?
No, I didn't.
I know people, because I personally feel a certain way about Zach Smith.
Yeah, I hear you.
Go check out that film breakdown. It will. I mean, dude, Michigan had a really good secondary last year, but those Ohio State receivers were running naked in that secondary, and he wasn't even looking at people. No, yeah. Thank you, Mark.
Mark Rogers, voice college football,
Thank you,
everybody.
Mark. Thank you, Mark.
Mark, post in the comments. Are you happier with Will Howard or Kyle McCord? I want to know your opinion on that.
Because all you need, you need Stetson Bennett. I personally believe if a Stetson Bennett type was at Michigan, we're cooking. Y'all are cooking. But
I agree.
But that's what you need. That's all you need. If you have the elite talent around it, that's all you need. Stetson Bennett is never gonna play a meaningful snap in the NFL. Never.
No. Especially for the LA Rams. Yeah.
Never. But when he was in college, he can hit a guy that's running naked in the secondary. He's gonna actually look at that guy. If he has to pull the ball down and extend the play, he can do that. If he can take off and run, he can do that. See, Kyle McCord, if Kyle McCord was mobile, then we're talking. Then you can get away with that. If Kyle McCord had Stetson Bennett mobility, Will Howard mobility, now we're talking. Because you can be limited because you can make that up on the back end with your ability to take off and run. It keeps that other defender in the box. But see, when you played Ohio State, there was no threat of the run. None.
Right.
And
it's true. I mean, and the success you guys have had in the past. I mean, I know Justin Fields wasn't really mobile, but prior to him, you guys had that dual threat option, and you guys were extremely deadly.
Yeah. And it was the same thing. See, he had Ryan Day, and this is why I say decisions. Ryan Day handcuffed CJ Stroud. He handcuffed him. And CJ Stroud admitted it. He was told not to run.
Correct.
So it was week after week after week. Ohio State was basically playing with one arm tied behind their back, because when you do not have that element, the linebackers flow differently. The secondary can take their eyes off of you and just focus on the man in front of them. That's why I think we saw a big regression of Emeka Egbuka. Well, I know he was injured, so never mind. Scratch that.
King, let me ask you a question.
What's up?
Why do you think that Ryan Day only called read option, like RPO, like run concepts for him in the two games, Northwestern and Georgia, did not do it against Michigan and some of the other teams that they face? Why do you think? Because I'm genuinely curious.
Northwestern, that was a weather situation. You couldn't throw in those elements.
Yeah.
Georgia, I think he got drunk the night before and had a fucking epiphany. I don't know.
That might be because the play calling in that game was all of a sudden like
all of it.
here.
Whatever he did, I don't know if his wife did his favorite trick. I don't fucking know. But something happened in that Georgia game where the light
Yeah.
came on. But then you saw what happened last year, and I understand that Ohio State was limited with Kyle McCord, but the shit instantly went right back off. It instantly went right back off. And that last year, if Ohio State's defense would not have been top 3, if it would have been just top 15, Ohio State loses about 3-4 games last year. That defense carried them in a way that I was starting to forget that was even capable at Ohio State.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Yep. And that is just the truth. But at the end of the day, my message to Ohio State fans is, and I know a lot of them is not gonna want to hear it, but we are not here because of no fucking Connor Stallions. I'm sorry. We're not here because of the weather. We're not here because somebody was sitting in the 10th row with goggles on. I'm sorry.
Right.
You need to be taking your samurai swords and charging the house on the hills in Columbus, the day residents. That's the person that you should be mad at.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like that's
the person.
exactly my position, bro. Because like, listen, you have an elite team, you have an elite program, you have a foundation that was in place when Ryan Day took over. And I've said this, and I've gotten shit from Ohio State fans. The foundation is cracking, and it's because of Ryan Day. Now, look, this is his year to change it. You guys
can change it.
Yeah, you guys have arguably the most talented roster in football.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where's the hole on the roster?
Most people will say the offensive line.
Yeah, okay.
But see, to me, even that logic is flawed because where did all this bad offensive line play talk come from? When did it really start?
When you start losing to Michigan and Oregon game, and then Missouri a little bit. Yeah,
no, it really kicked off. It really went to a whole different level during that Missouri, whatever the hell that was, that scrimmage.
Yeah,
that's when it went to another level. But when you look at what happened in that game and who had to play where, okay, the center in that game, Matthew Jones, he will never play another. I think his football career is over with. Enoch Vamahi, I don't even know where the hell he is anymore. And the other 3 guys that were on that line were all first team, all Big Ten. So you bring in the kid from Alabama. I'm sorry, the dude can't snap a damn football. But at the end of the day, you don't start 3 years for Nick Saban if you can't block some damn body. And his PFF grades as a blocker is really, really high. You don't start 3 years straight for that kid. I mean, for that guy, for that man. And you can't play football.
Let me ask you this, King.
So it's really just the right guard position that we have the question mark at. But there's 3 guys: Josh Simmons, Donovan Jackson, and I don't get Josh Fryer, but these were all Big Ten guys. So does that mean something? Does that matter? Maybe, but I know for a fact. This offensive line talk did not start the way that it did until after that Missouri game. Because when you look at this past season, Zach Smith, I know, Jesus Christ, I gotta stop saying that, dude. I need to get fucking paid for endorsing him. But he did a really good job with the film breakdowns all year. You could count on one hand this past season how many times an Ohio State offensive lineman just flat out got beat in pass pro. You could count on one hand. It did not really happen. It didn't happen.
Well, also, King, and we'll do one more point. We still got to do a Mark Rogers commercial, and we still got to do Keith. But one point I will say, because Mark also mentioned the O-line being the weak, if there is a weakness. Mm-hmm. I will say that if you remember last year at a place called Colorado, and when Sean Lewis still had offensive coordinator play calling ability, he was able to play call around a much weaker O-line than Ohio State will have next year.
Yeah.
So if he was able to do that, I believe Chip Kelly with his abilities. I think Chip Kelly is a very good offensive coordinator. I think he will be able to play call around the line.
And I just hope that he has the cachet to be able to tell Ryan Day to get the hell out the way and shut the F up and go sit out somewhere. Because you know what I mean? Because you know, we all saw that game in that third quarter when Ohio State ran the ball 7 straight times and just completely stopped doing it.
Yeah. I know. We talk about that all the time. You look like you guys had us figured out.
Oh my god! You know, I really appreciate y'all having me on here. You know, that just
We appreciate you, man.
I'm gonna go drink some bleach. Thinking about that.
Hey, it's after the
Well,
year,
listen.
bro. You might have a good season.
Listen,
Just
we
not in
appreciate.
November, though.
We do appreciate. We call them the reasonable Buckeyes, and we had Sean Garner earlier. We had you. You know, we get some Buckeyes in here who can talk ball and who can have some good chats. So we appreciate that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Hey, you're always welcome to call in, man.
That thought just makes me sick, man.
Yeah.
It really does. It really does because, yeah. All I'm gonna say is that it's gonna be a really good season. For both, I am really interested to see what Michigan is gonna do. I really want to see what Orgy is gonna do. But to me, it's gonna come down to what type of offense do y'all want to have, because each one of those quarterbacks, they're all different. They're all pretty much different. And you know, what's the style that Michigan wants to run this year? Does it want to be, you know, run heavy, or does it want to be, you know, sort of kind of a pro style with the Tuttle? You know what I mean? That's what I'm going to be really interested to see, because, you know, like I said, if Michigan can get a Stetson Bennett, that's all you need. That's all you need. You need a Stetson Bennett. If you can get that, then yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be nightmarish. It really is, because I believe that defense, if we are all being optimistic and we're all being realistic and we all, you know, are taking our, you know, school color glasses off, Michigan is still gonna be, they're gonna be all right. They're gonna be all right.
Yeah, we
All right,
we
King.
agree with that. But thanks for calling in, King.
Y'all, man.
I appreciate you, man. Thanks for calling in. Don't be a stranger,
King.
all right?
All right, dog. I'll see y'all next week.
Peace.
All right.
Peace, bro. Yeah, call next week. Peace. Hell yeah.
Okay.
No, King's dope, bro.
He's great. He's called in before. We appreciate him. So TJ, you know, Mark Rogers Voice College Football is in the comments here. And just a few days ago, he's rolled out a new sponsor with SNHU. So we actually have a short video that we're gonna pull up here for where Mark is talking about it. So I'm gonna do that now here for us.
And then our man Keith is going to be up next after the commercial break. We having some challenges with it. We have any issues, John, or what's up?
Oh, can you not see it?
We can see it, but I mean, I can't hear it. Can you hear it?
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. So if the sound is let me try this.
Hey, chat, can you hear it? Let us know. Oh, they said silent. They can't hear it either. Yeah, they can't hear it, man. I can't hear it either.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Well, we will workshop it.
Yeah, we'll work
next time.
All right. Well, let's get Keith up. All right, Keith, what is up, man?
Hey, Keith.
What's up, dude? Oh, he called in again. Hey, Keith, what's up, man?
Hey, yeah, I'm back.
You're good.
Yeah, that kind of blew up on you, eh?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened there. That's our first time running it, so we'll figure it out.
It looks like you and Mark aren't getting along. When he comes on, you get kicked off.
Yeah, we'll run some tests. We'll
All right. Yeah. I was surprised you didn't get JJ to fess up in that Indiana simulation. The Indiana was dancing around in dynasty mode before that simulation. And Michigan played most of the game in 3 down. Now, in what world does Michigan play 3 down?
So you're talking about the game simulation that came out this week?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. We got a lot of. I know. We got a lot of issues with that one. I reached out to the owner on that one. Mark's watching. See, Mark, the community is not too happy with that game, that simulation on that one. But we're working on it. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I think it was JJ. I think it's JJ was playing that. Justin Jackson was playing that game. That's Indiana Dynasty.
I don't know. That Indiana team was like all American, dude. That team was one of the best Indiana teams ever play.
No.
Hell of an overtime victory for Indiana, man.
Yeah. Yeah. We've seen it happen. Just hope it doesn't happen this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like what King said, but the death by 1,000 cuts, and I think Michigan was like 25-1 on 3rd and 4th and 1s this year. It was some unreal statistic like that.
Yeah.
And in college football world, we call that culture. The whole team steps up together and does what needs to be done when it's time to get it done.
Right.
Yeah. And
that culture is going to trend too. They still like Wink. Did you see the Wink Martindale interview? John, did you see it? I'm out to send it to you if you didn't see it. He just did it like
I heard like a couple of clips about how impressed he was that there were people in the team, like playing and playing hard and everything throughout.
And doing extra training, getting in early, staying late without the coaches being around. So the culture is already translated.
Right. And I think Ohio State, and Mark's going to love to hear this, but I think Ohio State is really suffering in that. And Mark says, ignore the Missouri game. Well, it's hard to ignore a game which your team basically quit. This USC used to do that. I remember USC going to the Sun Bowl one year, and all the players just came right out and said, "We don't want to be here. If we can't be in a New Year's Six bowl, we don't believe in coming to these crap bowls." And they didn't play, and they got beaten pretty badly, like Ohio State did against Missouri last year.
Yeah, well, I mean, so here's my position on that Ohio State-Missouri game. You guys claim, and not even claim, the rankings show it. You guys have the best recruiting classes every year. You're top 5, top 3 every year. If some guys sit and you guys claim all these offseason victories, then you should have had guys step up and be able to play the damn game. What is the point of all these 5 and 4 stars if some guys sit and you can't reload? Like, you guys claim to be this recruiting champion. You guys have the most talent over everybody. But yet when you guys have some guys sit, you can't even beat Missouri. You know what I mean? Like, what is that? Like, so in my opinion, I do count the Missouri game because Ohio State loves to claim offseason champion and all their recruiting rankings are so good. And yet, where's the depth when they need it? That's my argument. Where's the depth? So,
my point exactly. We're right on the same page there, TJ.
Yeah, I mean, we'll find. Hey, look, this is their year. Like King, we had some good. Sean was a great. We've had some great Buckeye callers. Dr. Buckeye, a couple weeks, like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. Sean's a good caller. King was a great caller, man. Like, shout out to him. Respect. This is their year, man. They have to show that like this, if they can't do it this year, then like Sam Webb said, man, like they got nothing, bro. Like, and I can't see how Ryan Day stays. I think Ryan Day is gone if they can't do it this year. I can't see it.
Yeah, unless he does something good in the playoffs after losing to Michigan, that might save him. But if your scenario where they lose to Michigan and go out in the first round, he's gone. And
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but about the quarterbacks, Mark will confirm this that Marvin Harrison Jr. and Kyle McCord went to the same high school, and they were a package deal.
Right.
And I believe, and I'm just guessing this now, I don't know this for a fact, but I'm guessing Kyle McCord told Ohio State, if you get me, don't bring in any of these other 5-star QBs.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be me and Marvin.
Well, no, let me be very clear. His dad said, if you bring in, I mean, allegedly, if you bring in any other 5-star, you have to understand that Kyle McCord's dad, it's kind of like a Lonzo Ball situation. If you know him, like helicopter parent, acting kind of like a pseudo agent.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I forget who brought up the point, but Kyle McCord did have a higher QBR than Beck and whoever else he said. So it wasn't that Kyle McCord was a horrible quarterback. He was a good quarterback, but like Mark says, just not good enough for OSU.
Yeah.
You know,
especially for their offense, their system. I mean, I could, and I was like, so if anyone's, so I brought up Will Howard's completion percentage. Guys, he's like a 59% completion quarterback. Like, and we all know what John, what's our number for Alex Orji?
62%.
62%. So like, Will Howard to me is going to be a downgrade. I don't think it's going to be as smooth or as big of an improvement as Ohio State wants it to be. I just don't. We're going to find out, hey, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but he better throw better than 61%. If Ohio State wants to be as successful as they want to be, because I don't see it with Will Howard, like being a 59% completion percentage at quarterback in that offense. Like, now maybe that offense makes it easier for Will Howard, which it's plausible. I mean, their wide receivers get open. They're the most talented wide receivers in college, basically. So, I mean, we're gonna find out. But I don't know, man. I think Kyle McCord might have been a better option for them this year. But I know they got to blame somebody, and they can't blame the coach. So,
yeah. Also, if you think about the Will Howard, Oklahoma. No, he's not. Dylan Carter was Oklahoma. Will Howard, where did he go again?
Will Howard?
Yeah.
Where's he from?
Yeah.
Kansas State.
Kansas State. Yeah, the Will Howard Kansas State wasn't the Kansas State that won the Big Ten. They were the following year. They went like 7-5 or something, I believe. There was a lot of heat on the three guys, Riley Leonard, the three quarterbacks King was talking about, Riley Leonard, Howard, and Gabriel, all had productivity issues that they were losing games. And I didn't see any of those guys as being saviors for the programs they were, just like Sam Hartman wasn't. Sam Hartman had problems where he wasn't this great quarterback, and they thought, these quarterbacks, sometimes they have like 15 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. And you're not going to win a lot of ball games if you have a 1.5 to 1 ratio.
Right.
So you're taking Will Howard, a 3.5 star. I looked him up, his ratings. He was 3 on one service, 4 on the other. You're putting a 3.5 star quarterback into a room with 4 5-star quarterbacks. They're probably easily spending $2 to $3 million to fund those 4 quarterbacks in that room that they bring Howard into. I just don't see it working. I see more problems than solutions.
Yeah, I am extremely curious to see how this experiment goes with Ohio State. Like all this talent they brought in, the new quarterbacks. Because I mean, that's the thing too. Like, yeah, Will Howard's an experienced quarterback, and he does have years as a starter, but he's now learning a whole system, and that's not the easiest transition for anybody. So. We're gonna find out, man. Like I'm gonna tell you, like I don't know if I've been more excited. That's not true. Last year I was pretty damn excited for the season, but this season I'm just so amped for it, man. I just think it's about to be like not even just for Michigan, just like college football as a whole. It's just gonna be a great year, man. There's so many storylines and so much change. I just think we're gonna be in for a treat every weekend, you know.
Yeah, it looks like Mark is correcting me. It looks like Will Howard won the Big 12 title in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I don't remember all the details, but I seem to remember Howard taking some heat while he was at Kansas State as he was leaving. It wasn't a clean entry. It wasn't it wasn't as clean as Cade McNamara leaving Michigan. So yeah, but anyways, okay, somebody else is coming in here, and I can't keep up with what they're saying.
That's okay.
So
no, you're good, man. Keep going. Don't worry about it. We're just putting it up there. You're good.
all right. So yeah,
Oh,
and JT, I wanted you to rest easy. The other day there was more Tuttle talk today. Another insider came out with the Tuttle talk, and last time I saw you got really down on it and thought, "Oh, we're going to go 7-5 if we get Tuttle." And
I didn't say 7-5. That was
yes, you did. Yes, you did.
You did. I actually agree.
No,
I think it would be.
I didn't say 7-5. I said it wouldn't be good. Who said? Was it Ferris that said 7-5?
Somebody said 7-5, but I agree. Like I think it would be bad.
I do say I don't think it's gonna be a good year if it's Jake Tuttle. I agree with that. Like if it is Jack Tuttle, I said Jake. If it is Jack Tuttle, I'm not optimistic it's gonna be a good year, man. I think we're gonna be in trouble.
Okay, now I was talking about the conversation that Kyle McCord's dad had with Ryan Day about recruiting. Mm-hmm. I believe that Kurt Campbell and or Sharon Moore had a discussion with Orgy before the spring game and said, "We know you can run the ball. We saw it against Ohio State. We saw it against Alabama. What we need is to see you pass the ball. We want a passing touchdown or two out of you." And I think Sharon Moore might be a little disappointed that Orgy is too one-dimensional. And from a coach's perspective, that's a big problem in an offense if you're one-dimensional.
Yeah, I think it will be if that's the case. But look, if it's spring game, but like he was above a 70% passer in the spring game, okay, and like he wasn't making, and his throws were fairly accurate. Like I do think Orgy is a short to medium range passer. It's just, can Orgy be? Does he have a deep ball? Can he throw it past 20 yards? I mean, it doesn't even need to be crazy accurate either. But can you make a defense honest? I don't know. That's to be determined, right? But I do think Davis Warren can. But I'll give you this, Keith. I think Jack Tuttle is the floor, is the safety net in case of injury. Maybe it doesn't work out with Orgy, then they might be like, all right, then we're putting Jack in. He's the experienced veteran who's like 30 years old, and we'll give him the opportunity. But like to me, I think they're saying Jack Tuttle's in the QB competition because they don't want to name a starter because they want it to be earned. I just and just so
Correct.
you know, Keith, hey, me and you, Keith and John, we're gonna have this debate all the way to September. You know what I mean? And we're gonna find out. And guess what, Keith? You can call if Jack Tuttle wins the damn QB battle, or he takes it over mid-season, whatever. Call in and you could let me know, bro. You can be like, hey, I told you. You know what I mean? It's all good, bro. But I'm just saying, I'm not optimistic if he is QB1. I just don't think that's the best scenario for us.
Let me say how good this is that we've got 4 good quarterbacks. And I think we can go 10-2 with any of the 4 of our top quarterbacks. Okay?
Who's the 4th? Jaden Davis?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yep. And that we can go 10-2 with all these because our defense is going to carry us.
True.
But our offense is going to be good if we have a good O-line and a good running back field. And it looks like we might be getting better at receiver. We'll see how that goes. But I think with any of the 4, we can go 10-2. So I don't think any of them are going to be bad. And I hope if it's Orgy, I hope Orgy can lead us to 12-0 and deep into the playoffs, and maybe repeat. So, but there's probably only one guy in that room, and I can't say for sure it's Tuttle. I believe it's Tuttle, but there's probably only one guy in that room, like JJ last year, that can take us to 12-0 into a repeat national championship. What do you guys have to say about that?
Well, who do you think that one guy is? Who's the guy who can take us to 12-0 with a repeat national championship?
I think Tuttle has the best chance, is what I'm saying.
Really? Okay.
It's possible.
I think it's if that's the scenario, I think for us to be at our ceiling and be the best team that we can be, it's for Alex Orgy to be what the coaches believe he can be, which is a Jalen Milroe-esque type quarterback. I don't think his arm is as good as a Jalen Milroe. I think Jalen Milroe's arm's a little bit better. But
yeah, he bombs it. He can bomb it.
But I will say, if he can at least be 80% of that, we're good, bro. With our okay, wide receiver is a question, but we have the best tight end in the nation, and Marlon Klein's no joke. And then our running back room is, in my opinion, one of the deepest in the country. And I think Donovan Edwards, we all know, I mean, he's extremely gifted running back. It's his year to shine. Our offensive line, in my opinion, is going to be very good this year. I'm not concerned with it. I do have a little concern with right tackle Andrew Gentry. But outside of that, I feel extremely optimistic about the starting cast for the quarterback. It's just, can our quarterback be what we need him to be? That's the unknown right now.
Right. And when Sharon Moore talks about executing the whole playbook, okay, you can interpret that 2 different ways. You can say one is that you need somebody to run the RPOs, but you can also say it the other way is we need somebody that can be a complete passer in the game. And that's where I think Tuttle, because I think Tuttle is the second most mobile quarterback on the team, and he's the best passer. Well, him and Warren are the best passers.
Yeah, I'll give you. I think Warren. I mean, I don't know. There's people who's Warren's actually one of the more athletic. We haven't seen it yet. Like, I haven't seen Warren be a mobile quarterback very much, but I need to watch the spring game again because, I'm kind of.
You should. No, I just did the other day. Yeah.
Did you? I'm gonna watch it again, but
I have recorded off the B1G network too.
Yeah, I got mine in my DVR. I'm not deleting it until the regular season. But yeah. I mean, I don't. There are people who say that Warren's actually very athletic and he is mobile. So,
well, Warren had 125-yard run in the game, so he was. But you can see when he's running, he doesn't run like Orgy and he doesn't run like Orgy and Tuttle. He runs more like Stafford or Goff. He can. He can move. He can get down the field when there's nobody in front of him, but he's not dynamic like Orgy and Tuttle are. But Tuttle's a really good runner when he gets there. If you look at the spring game 2 years ago, Tuttle broke a couple of big ones.
All right,
Yeah,
we'll see.
yeah. I mean,
We'll-
okay. Here's
hey,
what I would
Keith,
say,
Keith.
Keith.
All right, go, John.
Here's what I would say, Keith. If you remember 2021, they put JJ McCarthy in against Georgia because it wasn't working with Cade. They put JJ McCarthy in some of the biggest spots, even when the game was close. They have also done the same thing they did the same thing with Alex Orji in 2023. When even when things were close, they put Alex Orji into specific packages against the three most difficult opponents Michigan faced: Ohio State, Alabama, Washington. In my mind, given Jim Harbaugh's track record doing this, you don't do that if you're planning to make Alex Orji the backup or third string quarterback.
Yeah.
You do that if you are planning to set him up for 2024 with Sharon Moore and Kirk Campbell. That's my view on it. I do think, like we've all been saying, 62% needs to happen. I'm personally hoping for check down Cade levels, 64%, right? Because the throws that Cade could hit, short yardage to the tight ends, medium range throws to Cornelius Johnson, that's what Alex Orji needs to do. If he does get a deep shot like a Milrow, that would be, oh my God. But 62, 64.
Like if we want to repeat as Big Ten champion and we want to make a run in the playoffs, he's got to, like, you know, you saw what happened when you went against a Georgia with that type of offense. Like, you got Adam, but here's the thing though, Cade's not mobile like Orji. Right. So that's
why.
Dynamic,
that's what
right?
that is why I'm saying that. Like, I would not be saying that at all whatsoever if he was a pocket quarterback. Yeah, like no way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and JJ's a frail quarterback too. Is that when he got hit, he felt it a lot. He was a lot of pain this year, so we couldn't call design runs for JJ and hope that he was going to finish the game out for us. Well, we needed a stand-in for JJ.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, he was hurt during the Penn State game and the Rutgers game. He was dealing with like a hip, like oblique injury or something. But guess who can take a hit? Alex Orji can, because he's a freaking tank. But
he's a friggin' tank. Yes, is that?
Tank.
Yeah.
But Keith, give us your final thoughts or last question, and then we'll call it a night here.
Okay, my final thought, last question is, I think Sean made a lot of good points, but he missed one really big when he talked about Ryan Day being a 200 IQ. I think he was a lot closer to 50 and on the low side, because he just does not get the game. He thinks the game is flashy, and the flashy you are, the better you're going to do. And Sharon knows that's in the trenches. And the more you win the trenches, the more you're going to win the game. And so I've got Ryan Day on exactly opposite end of the scale that Sean does.
Well, TJ, you talked about this with King, that, Ryan Day basically thought, okay, we got the Big Ten in the bag. Let's go finesse and let's go try win playoff games. Because historically, Ohio State was just straight up beating the crap out of Michigan. Like, especially in 18 and 19, when they figured Don Brown out, they're just beating the crap out of us. So they thought that trend would continue, that Michigan wouldn't do what they did after Jim Harbaugh took the 50% pay cut and just completely revitalized the program. They didn't think, Ryan Day didn't think that was all going to happen. He thought, okay, we're just going to keep curb stomping Michigan. We'll assume that. Okay, now let's try to go finesse, get all the as many 5-star wide receivers as possible, top tier quarterback play, and go to the playoff,
Right. And well, I mean, let's be real too. He is doing that in the Big Ten. He just has a Michigan problem.
Right.
Michigan has ruined his plans. But on some real shit too, they couldn't beat Georgia. So they also have a Georgia problem. You know, like, and now they're going to have potentially an Oregon problem. How funny will that be if Oregon beats them? That'd be so funny. Let's hope they do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great. But we're going to have to see, man. It just sucks. It's June, and we have two and a half months until we can get some answers to these hypotheticals. But it was good
It'll
talking
be here
to you.
before we know it, guys.
Hey, I'm waiting for NCAA 25. Give me some NCAA 25. That'll hold me over for about a month. Then I'll be fiending for some more football. But we appreciate you calling, Keith. Any last thoughts, and we're gonna get out of here.
No, I gave you mine. Now let's get out of here.
All
Okay.
right, Keith, have a good night, man. Have a good day at work tomorrow, and go blue.
Go blue, baby.
Go blue.
Go blue. All right, John. Show number 5, bro. We crushed it. What a great show. Having the Buckeyes come in, that was a nice little change of perspective, but reasonable Bucks. We like those.
We do. Yeah, great show. Some great callers from a bunch of different fan bases. That's what I love about this show and this channel in general. You see a lot of channels out there, a lot of shows, and it's a Michigan bubble, right? Or it's an Ohio State bubble, but I love the fact that that any fan base,
Right.
even the Buckeyes, any fan base can come in here, chop it up. And as long as they're respectful, they're cool to each other, and just stick to ball. We love it. We love it. So
hey, even D-Rock and Michael, our Irish friends, Michael Campbell.
Irish.
You know what's interesting though? No Spartans. I've noticed that we don't have any Spartan fans in the chat ever. I've never really seen them.
There's one named YT Sparty that comes by sometimes, but it's been a minute.
Okay.
Probably come back during the season, but we'll see.
Fair
Listen,
enough.
You got Sparty friends, some of you in chat, like bring them in. Why not?
Hey, let them know. Let them know.
Why not?
But all right, John.
We did have a terp. Michael. We had Michael Wheatley came by, so we did have a Maryland fan come by today.
Yeah, definitely. Well, hey, thanks for coming on, John. I love it when you're on here with me, bro. I told you that before the show. Like,
Thank
you're
you.
you're my one, bro. Like, honestly, like, you're my peanut butter to the jelly, dude. So I appreciate you coming on here, bro. Everybody in the chat, everyone watching, we have our Tuesday show at 8:00, hosted by John, and I'm there co-piloting like Robin, Batman to Robin, and then we got obviously our Thursday 8 p.m. show, call-in show, and then throughout the week we're gonna have a bunch of content for you guys. Hopefully the next game simulation works out a little better than the last one. We're gonna reach out to them, make sure it's a better simulation for you guys. So really appreciate it, and also do not forget. Our Tuesday show is on audio on all podcast networks except Apple. We're still working on that. That is in process. And then if you want to contribute to the show, you can be a member. We have 3 tiers, as you can see rolling at the bottom of the screen. We really appreciate that. That not only helps us on the channel, but it's good for the network. And we really appreciate everyone's support. And to everybody in the chat, thank you. To all the callers who called, thank you. And to Mark, thank you, man, for building this network and giving us a platform and this great environment for all of us to talk ball. So we really appreciate it. And to all my Wolverine Nation fans, go blue. Have a good night, and we'll see you next week. Go blue, John.
Go blue.